Welcome to the Bass and Brews podcast, your weekly distraction from other high-quality podcasts. And now, your host, Alex from Swamp Rat Fishing, and the co-hostess with the mostest, the Jabber Hammer, Paul Roberts.
Hey, look at here, y'all. We're recording late in the week. We got Thursday night football on. Alex would never let this shit happen. He would be so stressed out because he'd have to do artwork. And if y'all see when Alex ain't here, the artwork I put up is one of these screenshots that comes from this podcast. That's what the hell I put up, or our little logo. But here we are tonight, Bass and Brews podcast, your weekly distraction from quality podcast content. And tonight, we are here with hands-on adventures from the Tiki Tack. At least that's where I know him. He's got a lot of other stuff. We'll talk about that. And our guest you're going to have to hold on. We'll get in that second. Our guest co-host tonight is Mr. Hambone Fishing, which y'all heard two or three episodes ago, somewhere around there. But I might be sniffling a little bit because let me tell you a quick little story to start this podcast out. I order some of my crusher stickers from Mule Sticker, or whatever the hell they call. Well, they got some hot sauce. And I spent enough money that they sent me a bottle of Mule sauce. And I was like, damn sticker people, hot sauce. This shit's going to taste terrible. Let me tell you something. That shit is delicious. It's hot. It'll open your sinuses, but I love it. And I just ate some tacos, some wraps with a tri-tip I cooked last night on it. So it's got me flowing a little bit, so we good. Hands on, Dustin, my man, what's up with you, bro?
Good, man. On the road, another hotel.
Another hotel. Golly, this podcast can't get away. Go, Diggs, go. This podcast cannot get away from shitty hotel internet. Actually, yours is good. Only Alex has shitty internet service on this podcast.
Yeah, as long as you don't move around too much.
Yeah. I have to tell Alex, I have to text him throughout the podcast, quit moving, just sit there and talk.
Stop moving.
What's up?
Man, just living. Wishing I was fishing.
That's probably about the shittiest intro you could have ever given.
What do you want, man? What do you want from me, man? It's Thursday night, you know?
I mean,
I just mowed the lawn.
Oh, like what kind of lawn?
Well, just my home lawn.
Okay.
Listen, we're a long way from that question.
We ain't got enough alcohol right now for that question.
No, we got a lot of drinking to do before we get there.
Hey, here's another quick little story, right? Y'all hear my accent. Alex has talked about his girls picking on my accent, and people pick on my accent. So I went into our local brewery establishment, and the bartender there, Shannon, I go in there to pick up my daughter from gymnastics. I usually get a beer or two before I go get her. And I said, I'm going to bring you a couple shirts and some boiled peanuts. So I brought her some boiled peanuts today. And I brought her one of my Crusher shirts. And then I brought her the last ever run of the Y'all Look shirts that Wisco Bates, Josh Hebner did. Last run, you'll never see him again. Anyway, I took her one. And so she was asking about my social media accounts. And I told her Paul Heels. And she's like, I can't find it. She hands me her phone, and no fucking lie. She texts, go, touchdown. Who is that? Diggs. Is that Diggs? Who? Corey Davis? Who is that? Damn it. Anyway, all right. So I get her phone, and I look where she was searching my name, and no fucking lie, she spelled it P-A-W-L. Pow.
That's the local restaurant here, Pals.
Look, and she's country. Like, she should have damn known better. So anyway, I guess I do have a little bit of a southern accent. Here we are. All right, y'all, I'm discombobulated as hell. I'm running late as shit. Y'all know this. Our listeners, now y'all know it. All right, hands on, man. Tell us about yourself. And I'll tell you, I didn't know who the hell you were because Alex was running our Tiki Tack. And I wasn't on Tiki Tack much. And when I got on it and he left and I started looking at our stuff on Bass and Brews, you had created a post of you drinking a beer, and the post said, "Waiting on my invite to Bass and Brews," and you got a side view going on. Nice shot, nice cinematography of you drinking a beer. And I put your name on the damn list. I said, I got to have him on. And so I followed you, and I've been following you some, and you got a good ticky tack, but you got some other stuff. So tell us about who you are and why you are where you are right now.
Well, before we get started, I got to congratulate the show straight away because y'all have officially hit the low water mark for guests. There is nowhere to go but up from here once you have me on the show. So, congratulations on that.
I don't know. We had Josh from Abide Fishing on. That's got to be our low point at this point.
Oh no, he's way above. I mean, I still wear the Richardson hats. At least he wears something else.
Richardson 112 is the most overrated damn hat on the market. Look,
I wore it today just for you.
I understand. I got Richardsons. I bought some Richardsons, but boy, them things is so damn hard. And if you actually work for a living and you get sweaty, them some britches turn. They could be a hard helmet after about 3 months of wearing them.
I've destroyed one of my favorite hats is from a bar in Georgia, and it is completely ruined. Like it's like you said, it's hard as a rock. And
now, do you say ruined with a T at the end or an N at the end?
Ruined.
There you go.
Ruined.
When you from the south, it's ruined.
I'm from the Appalachia region of North Carolina. We're the hill folk up here. In fact, the QC guys call us the mountain boys.
So how do you say F-I-R-E?
F-I-R-D? Fired? Like fired?
So, see, you said it right. When I was a wildland firefighter and we went and fought fire from the guys from Western North Carolina, they called it fur.
Fired.
Y'all, we got a fur over here. And I know what the hell they were saying, but other people like Western folk be like, are they talking about the tree? Or are they talking about a distance away? Like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, everywhere we go, whether it's on family vacation or a fishing trip or something, everybody always first it's, I love your accent. And, like, what accent? And then the next thing is, where are you from? Tennessee or Kentucky? And I had to say, well, I'm about 30 minutes from Tennessee, but I'm from Western North Carolina. And I get it. I've got it everywhere from Southern Florida to Arizona. Where are you from? So, I don't like the accent myself. I think I sound weird when I listen back to it, but I don't know. I guess it's all right.
Don't be a bitch, Dustin. Don't be a bitch. Look, the other thing y'all say, do you say y'all or yins?
I say y'all.
Okay, because a lot of Western those mountain folk say yins.
Well, it depends on which side of the French Broad River they're on.
So if you're on the rich side, y'all say y'all. If you on the pole side, you say yins.
The upper crust says y'all.
All right, Bo, tell us your story. Why are you here right now?
Yeah, like I started fishing with the QC guys and then decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and it started as a hobby and for fun. And recently I've decided that I wanted to ramp it up a little bit and try to push it a little harder. And, the TikTok thing, my son seems to think that would help draw people to the YouTube. So I started the TikTok thing, and it's pretty fun. I find it more as a incredibly efficient time killer than anything. If I just stop for 5 minutes at work, it's like
3 hours go by and you're like, what was that?
Yeah, an hour later you're like, holy shit, hours gone by. What's your YouTube channel?
YouTube channel is Hands On Adventures, but I have to spell it with the apostrophe between the D and the S, because there's another Hands On Adventures that's like, I don't even know if it's still operating. And every time you search it, that pops up. So now I had to put the little apostrophe after the D, even though it doesn't go there. And I did have some cards made with a QR code. And that has really seemed to help because I can give those to people and they just scan them and it takes it right to it.
I had that happen with TikTok. Is somebody had already taken Paul Hills, and nobody has ever taken Paul Hills in the history of social media until that. But it don't matter. I use Jabber Hammer on TikTok.
Well, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them, I didn't have any other issues except for YouTube. And when I changed my YouTube name, it changed my Gmail name to Hands On Adventures.
Oh man, I
So
had to deal with that too.
I'll be sending a work email, and somebody will say, "Did you change businesses?" I was like,
Yes.
"Eventually, I hope to, but no." I have to explain to them that instead of using my name as an email, it used my YouTube channel as the email. So I'll be sending work quotes or giving somebody a price, and it'll go through the Hands On Adventures instead of Hands On Installation, and it's a mess. But I just roll with it. I just explain to them that I just tell them it's my side hustle is what I tell them.
Hey, look, if you changed all your names to Hand Job Adventures, I guarantee you would be viral on everything just through the name.
I wouldn't be able to put my phone down. I just too many notifications on that one.
What are some of the creative names that you've had people like say your name as?
As far as Hands On Adventures,
Yeah,
they've never really went too crazy. I was gonna start doing like T-shirts and stuff, but call it HOA, and just make a play on, because I can't stand like HOA stuff. So I was gonna make a play on the HOA thing, and I decided not to do it. But HOA has been the only alternative name that I've heard or got. Like, now my personal business is Hands On Installation, and if working on construction and job sites, there ain't no telling what you're going to hear with the words hands on a job site. It's over. You might as well just get ready.
You got to change this shit to Hand Job Installations, Hand Job Adventures. I'm telling you. Look, it's 2022. That shit works nowadays.
The artwork's already done. I can't do nothing about it now.
Look, just take out the S, the O, and the N and put a JOB on it.
Well, I did put a poll up on Facebook the other night asking people what they thought about me changing the name. And I didn't realize I had so many diehard fans. But, I mean, I could always get back on the Facebook post and say, listen, we're going to Hands Off to Jerk Off now or something. So.
There you go. Hand Job Adventures.
Hand Job Adventures. Pivot man for hire.
Oh, that's too good.
All right, so back to Lord have mercy. This motherfucker done gone off the fucking rails.
It's going off the rails quick.
I love it.
That's what this podcast is for. Is going off the rails. This is people come here for this shit. And if we have some interesting or some worthwhile fishing shit that comes out of it, that's just a bonus, folks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm all about, and like I said, it's nice to have a media outlet where it can get kind of crazy and I don't have to be so G-rated. Like I was telling you earlier, I have some younger fans on the YouTube side. A buddy of mine's kid, he really likes watching my fishing videos. He said, Daddy, your friend, his videos are awesome, but damn, he cusses a lot. And so I have to be real mindful now of how my videos, when I produce them, and because I use some pretty spicy language when I'm out on the boat and things aren't quite going to plan. So I have to kind of throttle back. I mean, some slips through and gets by now, but for the most part, I try to keep it at least PG-13.
My son has a YouTube. Like he loves this. He wants to have a YouTube channel on this. So we gave him one. I monitor it through mine. And it's Can't Look Carter. Y'all go subscribe if you like just Roblox and Gorilla Tag. And I don't know. He's the only person alive that I've ever heard of that reached their daily limit for YouTube posts.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
That's impressive.
What's the limit then?
I have no idea. Oh, Siri. Hold on, Siri's acting the fool. But the point is that he was telling his friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel to help me grow my YouTube. And I was like, no, don't do not. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Just
my youngest son did the same thing. He's got a YouTube channel where he does like stop motion videos and like action figure stuff. And he got on his Discord, and there's this new action figure that Hasbro's put out that's like 32 inches tall. It's a big bastard.
Good Lord.
I told him to tell all the people on the Discord, I said, tell him if they get me to 1,000 subs, I'll buy this action figure for you. Well, we got on there, and it did spike a little bit, but long story short, he came to work for me, and he was able to buy the darn thing himself. So he didn't need to have to pimp his old man out anymore.
Yeah. It's getting your kids into this is one thing, monitoring it. That's one thing, but then when they start asking their friends to get on your shit, you're like, well, hold up now. No.
Well, he's pretty good about it, and he kind of self-limits his time. Like he'll go really hard for a couple weeks on posting and making content, and then just forget about it for a month. Like he just gets burnt out with it. He just turned 16.
My son's 8.
Well, listen, he could be out running the streets, I guess. I mean, at least he's making some kind of content.
Well, look, if you think about it, and old Hambone knows this, if you think about it, kids now that are doing social media and they're learning that aspect of it, what in 10 years, and my son's 18, what's he going to be able to do as a side gig for potential marketing and video creation and content creation for people as a side gig as he goes and does what he wants to do? We didn't have this growing up.
No, it's the potential is limitless as long as they have the drive and the want to do stuff.
That's for sure. Hambone, what you think about that? You think that's where young kids should kind of focus some attention, and being on screens is okay if they're learning how to create content?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a prerequisite now. I mean, you go into the job market, if you're not working with your hands and you're working at a desk, like you have to know how to do all that stuff. You got to know your way around Google everything and just kind of how that stuff works. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's great. I think it kind of gives them an outlet to let stuff go, but it could be very dangerous too.
Well, so I just got a drone. Now, I got it for work. The drone to video some stuff for my work, and he wants a drone to create content. And obviously, I'm not letting him fly the one I got yet, but I have buddies that have charged like $500 and $800 to real estate agents to do drone shots of a house.
That's what my cousin does. That's his business. Is he does drone shots of property, and then he has these cameras that he sets up in a house and does 360 tours of houses and stuff. And it's spectacular. If you look at some of my older footage that's drone work, it's actually my cousin doing the drone work on it. But he's spectacular at it. And, I enjoy my drone until I crashed it enough times to where it's no bueno no more. Like I bought the smallest, cheapest DJI because I wanted a good one, but I didn't want to spend $1,500. So I bought the $400 or $500 one. And I'll be honest with you, you had to try to crash that thing. And I was successful at crashing it. I was like Launchpad from the old cartoon,
I love watching the guys, like, especially in kayaks, and they're trying to get like drone shots and stuff of like their day or whatever, and their battery starts to run low and it starts to go back to home or wherever it launched from, and they're trying to run it down in a kayak, and they're just trying to pedal to catch it, and then they got to stay up. I think Blanchard sunk one in one of his videos, and just watching these people in boats like way out in the ocean, there's like nothing around them at all, and they're just trying to figure out where this drone is going.
That would make me. I
Oh
would have a
man.
heart attack. My cousin, he said, "Well, we can just build a platform on the front of your kayak, and I'll take one of your kayaks out, and we'll just launch from the kayak." I said, "Do you feel comfortable doing that?" I said, "Because we're family, but I'm not paying for that damn thing if you put it in the water."
That's what I'm
He's like,
saying.
"No, it'd be fine." And then next thing I know, I'm watching TikTok videos of dudes running down the beach, trying to make it out 20, 30 yards to catch their drone before it hits the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I would just, if my cousin, he's got so much money tied up in his drones that if he crashed one on one of my shoots, I would feel like shit because Daddy ain't paying for it.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, the drone footage is really good. But so we've talked about this on the podcast. There's two things. One is, I think it was one of Alex Rudd podcasts, I think. But there's the weight limit of where you have to get the license, and like the DJI minis are below that weight limit. So
That's what I had was a mini.
Right. Yeah, I got a 2. I bought a 2. And the other part of it is that if you are flying that drone to make money, you have to get a license. And so Greg Blanchard talks about this on a podcast. I think it was a podcast. He talks about how he got a letter in the mail. Somebody had turned him in.
Oh my
that he
God.
was making money on his YouTube. And so that's why he wasn't having the drone shots anymore.
They'll get you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to be careful about what you're doing it for. And, mine, for instance, interception. Who was that? Interception Rams. Who was it? I can't see.
I'm on a commercial break over here, so.
Oh, Lord, we're behind. We're trying to talk football, and we're behind. Oh, Lord. But anyway, yeah, the drone footage is good stuff, man. It really is nice. It creates a different thing. It's cool that you can do that. But Ryan Lambert posted something about a month or 6 weeks ago. The guy had his drone landing on his kayak in his hand, and the drone, and if y'all flown especially the DJI, the minis, sometimes when you try to land on your hand, it moves away because it thinks it's about to crash.
Yeah.
And this guy's moved off to the right and went straight into the damn water, and he went overboard to get it.
That's probably because he launched it right off his boat or right close, because them things have a sensor when you send them from home, and they know where the ground's at. So,
well, they think they know until you're over water, and then that bitch sinks or you in the water after.
I couldn't imagine.
Hambone, you hadn't sunk a drone?
No, I haven't even really. I don't think I've even flown a drone before. I haven't really messed with them at all.
Well, see, that's what your YouTube channel's missing.
I know. I got to get those epic intro shots, of me pedaling my ass off to some dock on Lake Norman that nobody gives a shit about.
Some dock.
One of the 18.6 million docks on Lake Norman.
Yeah.
Some random ass Norman dock.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin, back to your shit. What brought you here to where you are? We have been all over the place, and you even started this like way into your whole life.
Well, if we're going back to start how I got into kayaking, that's completely my wife's fault. That is all on her.
All right, so we'll blame her.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, 100%. We were vacationing in Florida on the Gulf Coast, and we went to a place called the Weeki Wachee River or Weeki Wachee Springs, where they got the mermaids and shit. And they have this like 6 mile stretch of the prettiest, bluest aqua water. And we went and rented a canoe for a family trip one time. And I don't know how familiar y'all are with canoes, but that is a disaster for me.
Oh, it sucks.
We were going down this windy river, and I hit an alligator. Now, no shit, I was actually going to try to catch him because he's only about 2 foot long. And, wife and kids are freaking out. Well, I can't control this canoe, so I slam the canoe into the alligator, and he takes off. On another section, we come down this bank with this overhang, and I'm not really afraid of spiders. They don't bother me at all. But when you have thousands of them fall in your boat because you did a mess, I have a little Jesus moment where I start walking on water. So we get down this 6 mile stretch of this creek, and I said, there's no way in hell I'll ever do this again. Well, the very next year we went back, but we rented kayaks. And I was paddling down through there, having the time of my life in this damn rental kayak. And I looked at her and I said, this would be a hell of a way to go fishing. And at the time, this was before QC and any of that stuff.
What year is that?
What year was this?
This was, it was 2 years to the day after the BP oil spill. I do know that because that's how I relate by start time, because that's when I started going to Florida. But we got on this kayak and I thought, man, this would be a hell of a way to go fishing, because I grew up fishing on boats, banks. I fish in a mud puddle. I don't care. But I told her, I said, we should have never did this. The very week I got home, I started looking for a kayak. Well, I found a guy that traded me a kayak for my very first GoPro I bought. And so I got my first 10-foot Ascend kayak, and I thought I was big shit. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world till I got more familiar with the kayak world and realized that was a piece of shit, and I was way too big for that thing. And it's one of them, I don't have any brand loyalty. It's just kind of whoever gets their hooks in you first. And I reached out, I got on Facebook to find people to fish with in the Asheville area when I got the kayak. So I found the Altitude Club that I'm in now. And like the first day I posted something, a guy named Saturday Mel, which y'all talked about, and a guy named Joel reached out to me. I just made a post. I said, where's a good place to go kayak fishing, yada, yada, yada. Well, those two hit me up, and I blame both of them for the amount of money that I have spent in the kayak world since that day.
I was just going to say, they reached out to you and said, hey, man, I got a great way for you to give me all of your money because you can fish, and then I'm just going to take your money in all these tournaments.
But I fished out of that little 10-foot forever, and then Saturday hit me up one day and goes, hey, I got a Hobie for sale. And I was like, he's like, it doesn't have a drive, it's just the hull. But I was like, well, I can make a Frankenstein boat. I don't care. I didn't realize at the time what I would have to go through to find the drive for this damn thing.
Yeah.
So I paid $300 for an old Outback hull that was hobbled together. I paid $400 for a drive out of Texas before the 180 pins come out. So I had this old ass Hobie with a GT drive, and I think I ended up putting like an aftermarket Jackson seat on it because I didn't like the way it sit down in it. It was a real and the boat is still around. There is a lady in QC that has the boat to this day. But I sold it and traded it and sold it and traded it. But the brand loyalty thing never really rung with me. It's just the Hobie boat got their hooks in me first because I like all the other boats. I'll fish out of anything. It don't matter to me, except for maybe a feel free. Those dumpster fires can stay where they're at. But Hobie was just the first one that got their hooks in me, and then I got a Hobie. My wife decided she wanted one, so we found her a Revo. Before I realized it, I had 5 Hobies sitting at my house.
My God.
And I was like, and I was like, how the hell did this even happen? So I had the first Outback, and I wanted to keep it. I got my wife's boat. Well, she wanted a blue boat instead of a red boat. So we found the blue boat. So now she's got 2 sitting there, and I've got 1. And I've never owned anything new in my life. So when the 2019 Outbacks come out, I told her, I says, I got the money, paying cash, I'm buying it. That's the boat I want. She said, well, what about your other one? I said, well, I'm going to keep it in case anybody ever wants to go fishing with me. Well, instead of just letting my son use that one, I buy him an Outback Sport because back then he was smaller. And that's how we wound up with 5 stupid boats at the house. Thank God I've only got 2 now. But we had a Hobie collection there for a little while.
Well, look, so when you spend money on kayak fishing and kayaks, like your wife she egged you on with that shit.
My wife has been so solid when it comes to my fishing because she knows that's my hobby, my getaway, my release, that she's never really, unless we've had a bill or something come up, she's never said no because I've told her from the get-go that the tournaments and the fishing, that's not a career for me. I don't want to use it as a career. That's something I love. It's a hobby. That's why I spend the money. That's why I'm willing to travel as far as I do. Just to not catch a fish because I like doing it. And she has never to this day gave me any kind of shit for it. Like, she has never busted my balls about it. But on the same side, I work all the damn time. So
yeah. So when did the content creation side step in? Because you said you traded your first GoPro for an old Hobie.
Yeah.
So you had to be thinking about creating some content earlier. You had the GoPro. When did you really start into the content creation?
The GoPro thing was a victim of clever marketing because I was walking through Best Buy when they had the fancy screen up and they made it look perfect. And they didn't realize, they didn't tell you how shitty your videos are going to be. You just see the motorcycle jumping over the sand dunes. And I was like, oh, I want that. So, you know, my wife said, well, you got to get rid of something to get something else kind of thing. So I sold some stuff I had, got the GoPro. And it started out just going out hiking, skiing, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I said, well, I'm just going to slap it on the boat and see what happens, you know. And the YouTube channel it was more for me, kind of like Hambone said, it was more to kind of catalog the stuff that I had done. And to be honest, I had the idea with everything in the world going digital the way it is, that would be a cool way for my kids and grandkids to kind of look back and see what kind of crazy shit that I would do back in the day. So when I'm 70 and I can't walk right because of something stupid, they can go, well, that's why. Someone gave him a damn GoPro when he was in his 30s. And so
look, that granddaddy can't catch no damn fish, but he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Why am I watching him pick backlashes out on this video for like 3 hours? What is happening?
Why am I watching this?
Granddaddy couldn't cast. He couldn't.
Where's
fish.
his friend Hambone's channel at? Let's watch that.
You're gonna see a lot of the same.
Yeah,
It just
Hambone's life left him 2 weeks ago. The video he posted on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, TikTok, I can't remember. When he tried to skip that jig, his life left him. Dude, when he looked at his reel.
It was.
Did you see that, Dustin?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like 1
That's why he's going car shopping.
Yeah, exactly. Did you know I've caught 3? I think I've caught 3 fish on Lake Murray total of the 2 times that I've been there. And no, but it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd been fishing since like 5:30 that morning, and I was on my way back, and I was just like, I'll just hit this last dock. That jig hit that water, and just my reel blew up, and it was just like everything that I had to not just throw the rod in the water and just leave. But yeah, it's so frustrating, but it's so funny at the same time.
See, if you were Country Boy Creek fishing, you could have thrown that Walmart combo in the water and not talked twice about it.
Right.
There've been many rod and reels go in the water, whether it be accidental or on purpose.
I'm too damn poor to be losing shit. I'm extra careful with my stuff because if that bitch sinks, it's probably a year or 2 before I can replace it.
The rods that I have now, it's a heart attack if one of those go missing. So
yeah, I'm going swimming for my shit. That's all I got.
You put the floats on it?
No, I ain't got floats on it. I ain't that fancy. I ain't that bougie. You know, I spent $300 on a rod and then don't put floats on it. So.
Yeah. I hear you. I don't either.
Hey, I don't either. But every little teeny centimeter on a kayak, for me, every teeny centimeter on the butt end of that rod on a kayak, that's real estate. Mm-hmm. And now I will say this: I'm ambidextrous. I cast right-handed, but I can reel. I can work a lure and reel with both hands. I've got left hand and right hand reels. When I got into a kayak, I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I got to get all left-hand reels because I cast right-handed and then it's right here. This casting trying to switch.
No, I do the 2-hand shuffle. To this day, I do it.
Me too.
But I'm telling you, it's awkward at first, but you'll get, if whatever your dominant hand is, that's the one you need to be casting with, and your off dominant hand is the one that you reel with. And I promise you, it will take some time, but you'll get used to that shit, and it'll be the best thing you ever did.
Yeah, but see, I already drilled the holes for like my graph and everything. So
see, in a Hobie, In a Hobie, you don't have to drill no holes for no
Yeah.
graph. The shit's already there.
It's
Yeah.
there. It's just a nice little.
Listen, I don't need the Hobie guys ganging up on the native guy, all right?
Well,
Chill.
look, Alex isn't here to talk shit about a boat he's never been on. So we're just. I've never been on anything but a Hobie and actually a decent Walmart kayak, an Avalon. But I'm not going to talk shit about the other ones because I ain't been on them. I'm not Alex. He's an asshole, little short asshole at that, little munchkin asshole.
I've been on quite a few, and I like them all. I just, like I said, Hobie got their hooks in me first, and that's just what I'm used to, and that's what I like. I think the power to go ratio is a little bit better. It's a little more efficient. But
yes, that's the word, efficient.
That
pedal
could be
drive,
me,
man.
But
pedal drive's efficient for sure.
No, I've either had or been in most kayaks on the market. So.
All right, getting back to your fishing journey. So you got the kayak, you hollered at Joel and Saturday Mail, which is maybe one of the greatest overlooked names in kayak.
It's the most underrated name on earth. The first time I told my wife, she's like, "Is his name Saturday?" And I was like,
"Yeah."
I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Last name?" I was like, "No, that's my boy's first name."
I thought it was like a nickname because he won all the time, and it was just like all the tournaments were on Saturdays, so we just called him Saturday. But
that's crazy. I've met a guy whose first name was Attorney.
That's an interesting one.
Spelled the same way, but yeah. That's funny. All right, so Saturday, Joel, you start kayak fishing in the club you're in now out of Asheville, and you just start growing from there.
Well, the CKA down in y'all's neck of the woods.
That's right. Yep.
I don't know if they still do the Gate City Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was my very first tournament. I reached out and I said, I knew first at this. They said, "Well, come on down. We'll kind of walk you through whatever." And so that was my first tournament, and I went in there kind of big chested because I knew I could catch fish, and I had just caught what was probably one of my PBs just before I went down there. And I get down there and I got humbled. That was also the weekend I met people like John Ladd and Buster, and that was the first time I met Vinny, was at that tournament. And that's actually how it all got started with the QC guys, was through that tournament. Vinny just come up and started talking to me. Like, the kayak community, when I first got into it, was just like everybody was boys. There was no strangers, just everybody talked to everybody. And Vinny came up to me and started talking to me, and I kind of looked behind me. I was like, "Who the hell is this Jersey Shore knockoff talking to me? I didn't know this dude."
That boy ain't from around here.
And I'll tell you what, we've been buddies ever since. We sit and talk for a good minute, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to start up this Queen City thing. You ought to come out." And I said, "Okay, well, tell me when and where. I'm brand new at this. I'm the 1st of May here, so you tell me when and where, and I'll be there." Because it was like I was trying to get a piece of all kind of action when I first started kayak fishing. I was like, "I don't give a shit. I'll drive to Georgia, coast of South Carolina. Let's just wherever. I don't care."
So were you there for the first year of Queen City?
Yeah, I was there for I was like, I didn't fish every single tournament because that was still, all of them were still over 2 hours away for me to go to. But I tried to hit as many as I can. And Vinny even joked one time, he said, "I only showed up to one tournament so I could get my jersey that I ordered." And I haven't looked back. I haven't been able to fish a full tournament schedule up until probably 2 years ago, which was one of my best years. And the tournament scene in Asheville is lackluster, to say the least. Nobody can seem to just get something going and it stay and be cohesive and a good thing. So I just go to Charlotte and fish with those guys,
And we're, again, this shit's all over the damn place. I love it though. This is my ADHD at its finest. where did the content creation part come in? When did you start creating the content that got you to where you are right now?
Probably about 2 years ago, I started really wanting to upload regular and make something and like document my travel and my fishing. And it wasn't until the past couple weeks that I've decided that I want to ramp it up and really put more effort into editing, better shots, better production, better storyline. You know, before it was just fun and a hobby, because it started about 2 years ago with actually uploading all the time. And then the scandemic happened, and I was like, well, I got all kind of damn time now to go out and make content, because for us, work-wise, it just died for like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing. And so I was out fishing almost every single day during the first part of COVID. And that's when I really decided that I wanted to get a little more serious with it and start, you know, trying to, you know, chase clout and get subscribers and try to go somewhere with it, you know, instead of just filming and assing off and then just throwing something up on the internet. So that brings us to now, to where I want to. That's why I did the TikTok thing, because I'm trying to pull people from TikTok over to YouTube and like, hey, go check this shit out. You know, help a brother get paid over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was just me wanting to document me going out and doing shenanigans, and I never set out to do a specifically fishing channel. It was always more of a travel and adventure thing. It
So
was
more
just
like a
heavily
vlog.
based. It was just
Vlog.
heavily based on my kayak, because my kayak gave me a reason to go do this stuff. It's like, so instead of just going hiking or traveling to Yellowstone, I can take my kayak and go hit all these different waters. So the kayak was really just a vessel or a means to an end to make an adventure or a travel channel.
I'll tell you this, having when I got into the kayak fishing world in late 2020 and to where I am now, the channels, you know, I dove in and started watching everything, because I had a 10-year hiatus from fishing. I had not done kayak fishing. I got into kayak fishing, wanted to do it. So I was watching all the fishing channels. The ones that I continue to watch, the most that I watch when a post comes out are those vlog styles. I like that story. I like the beginning. I like when they go camping. Greg Blanchard is probably the best example you can give of that. Is all of his videos have a story. And now I still gear towards the folks who put out their tournament fishing content, because I like the tournament side of it. And this is bass boat world, this is kayak world, tournament fishing in general. But there's the ones that I continue to watch are the ones that take you through that journey. Dustin Connell is a great one on the bass side that I watch a lot. You know, he's got you driving to and from. They got you at the house. They got you in pre-fishing. They got you in fishing. You know, all these that have that story, that vlog style, where you feel like you're sitting in their passenger seat, going with them on the boat and the kayak or whatever. You feel like you're with them. That's what I'm drawn to. And that's what I like. So, you know, taking these adventures, and it's not just fishing, but these folks that take the adventure and they condense it into a 20 or 30-minute video, or 20 or 30-minute videos. That's what I like, and that's what I enjoy watching at this point.
That's the kind of content that I consumed endlessly. Like when I first started kayak fishing, I consumed as much as I could, especially after I got humbled in my first tournament, you know, and I only caught one fish. I just started consuming. I got the World Fishing Network and went on that, and any kind of content. And then I got more in 2018. I got more into the travel side, because I drove cross country for the first time, and I was like, "That's it. This is what I want to do. I want to find a way to do this and make money. And then so I started consuming content based around people traveling, RVing, fishing, anything I could do to either improve my channel or get an idea or pick somebody's brain on how to make something better. Anything I can do to move closer towards an end goal. And it was just all consuming. I don't even watch that much TV. I'm on YouTube probably more than anything.
Well, that's kind of your series that you got going too, like the what are you calling it? The
Project 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, that come about, that was an epiphany. And I know there's people that have went to all 50 states and fished, but I don't know of anybody that has took their one kayak and went to all 50 states and maybe not necessarily catch a fish, but at least go and try and put your boat in a different body of water in every state. And that's what I'm working on now. And I'm really hoping that could be a flagship series to somebody see it and go, well, that's pretty cool, because in each episode, it's either me checking out something in that town, me going to get something to eat, a brewery, and then whatever lake I'm going to fish. And I just got back from Arizona from one of those where I knocked 7 or 8 states off the list.
Damn.
And I just now, I think I just posted the New Mexico one. But the problem with that is when I left to go on that trip, I had the trifecta of shitty luck. Because the week I left, a nationwide heat wave hit through the Midwest and out west. Gas prices went sky freaking high that week. And I had rented an F-250 to pull my stuff out there, because my father-in-law was like, well, why don't you just rent a truck instead of driving yours? And I was like, okay, cool. I'll do it. So we leave for that.
Dad-in-law.
Yeah. So we leave to go on this great big epic adventure. I get to Arkansas and I cannot even fucking breathe. It gets so hot out there. The average for the whole trip, we were gone for 2 weeks. The average was 107.
Oh my God.
And once you get to Texas, you find out what dry heat is.
Yeah.
Once you get to that the desert and the high desert, it's a whole different ballgame. It didn't get comfortable till we left Arizona and got into Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But the third thing that really hit us on that trip was sand. We hit a sandstorm.
Oh,
like a legit
sandstorm. Like almost every day, we camped most of the time in a truck tent. So we had to wait till 9 o'clock at night when you could stand the temperature to be in the tent. And 9 o'clock is about when the wind started dying down. They had wind advisories. And this reminds me, one of the things I wanted to do so bad out west was see Monument Valley. And that's like a lifelong goal of mine. I drive into the valley and you can't see shit for the sand. It's like you can walk up and cut with sand. And I was like, I took a picture and put it on Facebook. I was like, well, I waited my whole life to get here. That figures. It fucking figures. Sand everywhere. But we made the best of it. And I'm going to tell you what, my son is a freaking champ, dude. The only thing he complained about is he's not the biggest fan of kayaking, but like he didn't complain about the heat. He didn't complain about the sand. He's like, hell with it. We're out west traveling. Let's, we'll make the best of it. It's an adventure. And I was like, well, okay, cool.
Look, your son was like, if I complain, Daddy's going to have my ass. Ain't no damn way I'm complaining about this.
Well,
I can't go home now.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Morning, I got up, and I'll be honest with you, I was not feeling the fishing. If you go back and watch I think it was Oklahoma, I didn't want to be there. I don't know why. I slept bad in the truck. We ended up sleeping in the cab of the truck in the air conditioner. And we got to the boat ramp, and Cameron's like, Dad, I don't want to do it today. I was like, all right, sit at the boat ramp. I don't care. I'm going fishing. I drove this far. I'm going to fish. 30 minutes into it, I break my drive.
Oh, shit.
And I'm just like, fuck it. I'm done. I'm done. Like I'm slamming stuff, throwing stuff in the trailer. I pull over, get everything strapped down and ready for the road. And Cameron's like trying his best to be supportive. And he says, Dad, if you need, you can use the drive out of my boat and I'll paddle at the next one. I was like, I appreciate it. We're going to fix it. One of the things I love doing is working on my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, that night we made it to Amarillo and got a hotel because we hit our first major sandstorm. I wasn't fighting that fight. I went to Lowe's and got JB Weld, and I had that joker on the water the next morning.
Nice.
So, but that's just, that's adventures from the road, just the shit you're going to run into when you decide that you want to travel and fish and go adventuring. You're going to have issues that you got to deal with.
You got to be able to make it. It might not be the permanent fix, but you got to have the skill to make it where you can still continue on. And that goes into tournament fishing too. I mean, just in general, the whole thing is to be able to continue on, be able to overcome that adversity and make the shit happen. How many states have you been in?
How many states have I fished in my kayak?
Yeah, how many states out of your Project 50 have you done now?
10, 11.
Oh.
I'm kind of saving the low hanging fruit like North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, because I can go do those anytime. But I've done almost all of the South and all of the South and Southwest.
Nice.
So I've done all the way over to Arizona. I didn't fish in Colorado because there was just so much stuff we wanted to go see and do while we were in Colorado. And then when it was time to come home, I just made a beeline from Cortez, Colorado, back to North Carolina, and I did it in 2 days. So we only stopped to sleep. So I was ready to be home at that point. I'd already been on the road 2 weeks.
You was done. You was done
for sure.
And the spoiler alert, I skunked the entire trip. I went to some of the most magnificent places, the prettiest places you'll ever drop a kayak in the water. And the wind got me, the heat got me, my lack of knowing the areas got me. I made the mistake of relying on information that I got from locals instead of researching for myself. And I think I might have got some shot information. like I'm going to go back and come back and fish their hole once a week or some shit.
Right, of course.
Like I'll never even step foot this part of the country again,
Yeah, but they were like, I bet this dude's going to be recording this shit. Don't tell him nothing.
Oh yeah. There
was
a man that owned a tackle shop in Arkansas that was like, "Hey, put this on YouTube. Come here and film this." And I was like, "Huh?" He was a pretty good guy though. I think he gave me some pretty solid information. I just didn't catch him. I'm going to blame the heat and the fact when I go fishing, I'll start it early as I can and I'll fish till I die of dehydration. Whereas I look back 30 minutes later, my son's like this. I'm like, okay, we'll go because he really don't fish a whole lot. He got his earbuds in and he's listening to his music or watching something. And one day on the trip, he forgot his phone in the truck and his earbuds were dead.
Oh shit!
And it was the end of the world.
Boy.
It was over.
But you did preface this by you weren't going to catch fish in every state. You just want to put your kayak in the water and fish
in every state.
Right? Yeah, there we go.
And up until Arkansas, I was batting 1,000. I caught fish in Maryland. I caught fish in Pennsylvania. I caught fish in Ohio, Tennessee. I've flat destroyed Florida. Virginia. I caught fish. Everywhere I've gone, I've caught fish until I got to Arkansas. So I'm just going to blame it on the heat and the wind. That's all I can do. I'm a professional amateur, so it wasn't me.
I like that. I'm stealing that. Professional amateur.
Professional amateur.
Hell yeah.
Semi-professional amateur.
Well, no. If you're semi-pro, you get kicked out of bass clubs like old Alex Rudd.
Oh, yeah.
He's a semi-pro. He gets kicked out of bass clubs for being semi-pro.
I mean, I haven't been kicked out of one yet, but you never know. Vinny may watch this and go, "No, the Jersey Shore crap. Take a hike."
I'm pretty sure Vinny would embrace the Jersey Shore crap. I mean, he still spikes his hair with gel, so we good on that
tournament
side.
days. He spikes his hair with
Oh,
gel.
yeah.
Like on tournament days, like it's 3 a.m. and you're going to register when we had to check in that morning at the thing, and you walk up and he's got gel in his hair. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What time
Dude,
did you
I
get
could barely keep my eyes open right now, dude. And you got gel in your hair? What's the deal?
looking fresh at death in his yoga pants and spiked hair?
I knew that the tights, the friggin' leggings were gonna come up today. I knew as soon as I came on,
You better believe it.
Somebody else from QC, that the leggings were going to come up.
But that is what y'all are known for. If you listen to any kayak podcast, and anybody in Queen City does anything to get notarized, they're going to be like, in Queen City boys, the Queen City guys, because all of them wear leggings. All of them got damn yoga pants on. Dustin, do you wear yoga pants? What the fuck's wrong with you?
There's two things I'm hell bent against wearing. That's yoga pants and Crocs. I know.
You know what? No, you know what? Hold up. No, bitch. Hambone, it's just me and you. For all of those listening, not watching, I just kicked Dustin out. This bitch just said he don't like Crocs. His ass is gone. Fuck him. He cannot like yoga pants. I understand.
I don't think it's that I don't like them. I just think it's one of those things that it's just not me, and everybody pushes them on me. You know?
You ever worn them?
Yeah. Have you ever put those magical things on your tootsies?
I could take or leave them.
All right, so this is why I wear Crocs fishing. And I wear Crocs, no socks, fishing every time I go fishing. It doesn't matter. December, January, summer, it don't matter. It could be 19 degrees. It could be 119 degrees. I got Crocs on. And I wear them because they don't slip off my feet when they get wet like sandals. And two, I don't like my feet being wet. So when I get into the damn kayak and I get in there, I'm ready to pedal, my Crocs come off. I mean, it doesn't matter. A buddy of mine, Matt Dunn, who's a local angler here with us, damn good ass angler. He catches 7.5 pound fish. It was February. It was cold as fuck. It was 20-something degrees we launched. Cold as hell. He catches this fish. It's still cold. It's in the 30s. And he catches like, oh man, I'll get a picture. You know, I'm pedaling over there. I pedal over and he's got this fish and he's got it held up to start to get the picture. And he drops the fish down and goes, you ain't got no shoes on. Like the first thing out of his damn mouth. But that's why I wear them, because my feet dry quickly. And if
it ain't wintertime, I kick whatever water shoes I have on off if it ain't wintertime.
But see, in wintertime, those Crocs, man, if my feet get cold, I dip them in the water, because the water in North Carolina, in the Raleigh area, is usually warmer. But when that sun hits them, man, it warms up and your feet don't hurt. You wear shoes and socks.
If I was to rock the Croc, I would try to find the craziest color pair I could and go that route. But I'm just not a Croc guy. Never have been. Like I got all my buddies, my wife, all our whole clan that we go with to Florida. Every one of them. If you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking. I'm like the only one. It's like a row of Crocs and Hey Dudes, and I just not me.
I bought one pair of Hey Dudes and I hated them. Hated them.
I've had 2 pair of Crocs, and one pair. I don't even know what the hell happened to. Matter of fact, they were the nicer Crocs. They weren't the holy ones. They were the ones that looked like kind of like Dockers or something. And I can't remember. I didn't like those because my feet wouldn't dry. But the other pair of Crocs I got, I've had them for so long and I've worn them so much that I've almost worn through the padding.
Well, I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to start pimping myself out and trying to get actual sponsors to get behind the YouTube channel and my fishing next year, I'll reach out to Croc and see what they say.
They're going to tell you like they done told all the rest of us. Nothing. They ain't going to answer you. They ain't going to tell you shit.
Get bent. That's the only way. That's the only way I'll do it.
No. They're going to be like everybody else. They ain't even going to answer your ass. You got to do something. You got to do something really good, I think, to get in Croc's good graces.
Well, I mean, the traveling and stuff is getting expensive, so I got to do something. You know, that's how you know it's a love affair. It's a little bit more than a hobby because the amount of money that I have spent just traveling.
Yeah, like but if you change it to Hand Job Adventures, then I mean, you know, you've got your income. You've got your income wherever you go.
I'd at least have some pocket money.
Yeah,
I wonder if I could get that on the OnlyFans.
Hand Job Adventures is it, dude. I'll tell you what, I give you until 5:00 Monday morning to take the handle Hand Job Adventures, and then I'm copywriting it. I'm taking on every social media. 5:00 Monday morning, you have to take it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, you're talking to the wrong one because you're liable to see it tonight on TikTok.
Well, no, I'm not talking. I'm trying to help you out.
Well, I appreciate that. That's good. That's good looking out.
Yeah. You know, and when you go viral, and when you start making money, real money, not 10% off money,
I ain't doing all that. Well, no one's gonna take me serious if I don't start rocking Crocs with the name Hand Job Adventures. It seems like those two would be synonymous with each other.
But I'm telling you, that's the ticket there. That is the ticket. I mean, just like Hambone. If he went Hamboner fishing,
dude, that's what I was gonna actually. I was very, very close to being just like, you know, in the beginning of videos, just saying, "What's up, Hamboners?" You know, just like, "What's up, Hamboners?"
You relate to your audience that way, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, man, I have a bunch of boners as fans.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I mean, obviously, like the guys.
Could you see the T-shirts, Proud Boners? We're a stand-up bunch of guys.
Boner fishing.
I'm here all week.
Look, here's the sad thing is this shit's gold. Ain't nary a person on this damn podcast gonna take that shit and run with it either.
I don't know. After they listen to it, they might go.
Yeah. Well, hey, that 5:00 Monday morning shit's gone because this shit drops 5:00 tomorrow morning. If I get it out on time, this shit might be coming out at 10:00 tomorrow morning. I don't know. But when people start listening, they're gonna start taking them handles now. They're gonna get them websites, and when you want to go get handjobadventures.com, it's gonna cost you $150 to buy it from Jim Bob over here that can't even spell hand job. That somehow got it.
Pornhub's about to buy Hand Job Adventures.
Pornhub, if you're listening. Pornhub, if you are listening and you do take that, we are looking for sponsors, and I would, Pornhub would be right up there as a great one to have.
Hey, listen, they got unlimited money, so
yes, they do. They do.
Well, we could get on the OnlyFans as Hands On Hambone. It'll be like we could be a tag team, but we have to keep it
tag team. That's right. Hands On Hambone tag team.
That don't even sound right. I should never have said that.
I'm glad you did, though.
Yeah, hashtag stand up guys. Y'all crazy. Oh, shit, interception.
Did Matt Stafford throw it?
No,
I don't know what the story is. I've been ear deep in this podcast.
See, the only thing that I have that in football, like NFL football, that's like worth following is Matt Stafford's career because I'm a Lions fan. So we as Lions fans have really embraced Matthew Stafford winning a Super Bowl, and it's been amazing to watch, one of our own finally go on and win.
Now, I believe if I was a Lions fan, I believe I'd be praying for a car crash. I don't believe I'd be rooting for him. Now, I'm
man,
not that good. I'm not that good a Christian.
No, that's the only way. That's the only way the Lions fans can win anything is to pull for the people that they let go and didn't build around for the 8 years they had.
The only thing that we live for are those like generational talent lists that have like Barry Sanders and Megatron on. Like that's the only thing that we can claim.
They still talking about Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they wasted the career of one of the top 3 greatest receivers to ever play the game, and Stafford played with him. Like, how do you look, man? Put somebody around them people. Look,
if anybody can understand that, the way Carolina did Steve Smith, I was a fan of his even after he left.
But Steve Smith, one of my most favorite players ever, because he was going to talk shit. He was going to back it up. That dude could play fucking football like no. He was a damn football player and a half.
One of my prized possessions is my autographed helmet and football I got from him.
Oh, shit, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lions don't even have one primetime game this year at all. Not one. Not one primetime game.
Who doesn't?
The Lions.
Y'all get every Thanksgiving game from here to eternity.
I don't know, man.
Thank God I can have something to sleep to.
I know. That's right. That's damn right.
Yeah, that's the nap game before you get into the real game, right?
Which is it's kind of cool watching this game because before Carolina had their own team, I was actually a Buffalo fan. How that came about?
Mm-hmm.
I think I just did it to piss my brother off when we were kids because we were like super competitive, and he hated the Buffalo Bills. I was like, cool, that's my team. And then, 95, we got our own team, so I just quit keeping up with them.
That's how I was. And most people in the Carolinas, you would think that their team would be the Falcons because when you grew up in the Carolinas, it was either the Falcons or Washington were the closest teams we had.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee. But I was a 49ers fan. I love Jerry Rice and Steve Young. Jerry Rice was the man.
My brother was a diehard 49ers fan.
Yeah. And then when the Panthers came along, I had a hometown team now. That's why I chose. Can y'all hear my shit dinging?
No. What floors me is when I go to a Carolina game and it's over 50-50 with the other team in the stands. Like I went to a Steelers game in Charlotte, and that place was black and gold. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
Steeler fans are almost as bad as any fan of any team from Ohio. Any team from Ohio.
I'm not even going to piss the entire internet off with my opinion of Steelers fans.
I'm real good friends with a Steelers, a diehard Steelers fan. I can't even express the amount of shit that I talk about the Steelers and how much I hate playing, like even seeing the terrible towel, even seeing any of their colors, it drives me insane. I hate it so much.
I don't even use the word hate. I don't put that in my heart, but I believe they may get that designation,
Yeah,
well,
it's bad.
Yeah, hey, be easy with the Steelers hate now because that was, I played with a couple guys that played on the Steelers. So I'll tell you, when I played with folks that started going out to the NFL, I pull for the Panthers. Like that's my team, but I really got out of this like pulling against teams because I knew guys that were making a living and playing for other teams. And then fantasy football for me, I love fantasy football. I've been playing it for a long time. I at one point in time, I was in like 14 leagues at once.
Jesus.
And so it wasn't about a team for me.
Don't ever say you won't root for somebody until you start playing fantasy football.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wanted people to do good. I didn't care about what happened. But I'll tell you this, it made me want to watch more of the games. And I love NFL football. I watch a handful of teams in college, but on Sunday at 1:00, I'm watching every damn NFL game. I've got whatever the hell. Red Zone channel's to me the best. I love it, and I watch that shit. But I mean, I just love watching football, eating bowl peanuts and watching football. And
well, that's kind of our Sunday thing. Me and my buddy that I used to work with, every Sunday we go somewhere that has Sunday tickets so we can watch every game and keep track of our stats on our fantasy football. And it's like, ever since the Patriots beat Carolina in the Super Bowl, I've just hated Tom Brady. Like, everybody worships at that altar. And I drafted him one year first out. And he got me some ungodly amount of points. And I'm just like, yeah, you're the man, dude. And everybody's just like, what the fuck did you say? Because they knew that I couldn't stand Tom Brady. And then I'm just rooting for him. And I'm like, that's my pony from here on out. If you're going to score me them kind of points, I don't care if Marshawn Lynch is available. I'm picking Tom Brady.
Michigan, man. See, as a Lions fan, I got to watch college because, Michigan at least wins a couple games every year, So, college is my deal. I don't follow NFL too much just because it's hard as a Lions fan to just constantly lose.
I am the worst Southerner ever when it comes to college football because I've never really got into college sports, period, unless Duke and Carolina was playing because my brother, my buddy I go watch football with, they're all diehard Carolina fans. So it's like, okay, where are we going to watch a fight this year?
Please don't tell me you fucking pull for Duke.
No, I don't pull for neither one of them. I just go for the drama.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. If you said you was gonna pull for Duke, I was taking your ass out this fucking stream and this podcast.
I've got too many friends that would stake me up and burn me at the stake if I pulled for anybody other than Carolina, in that situation.
Look, it's okay to pull for ECU. It's okay to pull for App State. Some of these other schools. Fuck NC State. They suck. But and I got friends that NC State people, but the people that actually pull for Duke on purpose. Duke is it's the University of New Jersey at Duke.
Well, we were out somewhere at a bar watching the game, and some girl was at the bar talking to us, and then we found out she was a Duke fan. And I was like, so you're a Duke fan? She's like, yeah. I was like, what's it like being a devil worshiper in the South? She got pissed.
Oh, man. Well, shit, the damn Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Oh, yeah. They don't like being called devil worshippers in our neck of the woods. But, I'm here to piss people off. So.
Not with that accent. We couldn't tell from the first time you opened your damn mouth.
What accent?
See, that's what I say. That's what I say. People say you talk funny. I'm like, well, it sounds fucking good to me.
Oh, but you ain't been to the north there, eh? Huh?
Who, me?
No, not too far.
No, I know you have.
Oh, I
know
have.
You've been in Michigan,
Yeah.
But man, I hear people because I've been down in North Carolina for about 10 to 12 years now. And if I go back to Michigan and I hear those people speak again, oh man, I can definitely tell. And I hate knowing in the back of my mind that I know that there's still words that I pronounce that are very like car or bar or just you push your vowels up into the roof of your mouth as like a northerner with that northern accent, and you're just
talk out of your nose.
Yeah. Yep.
My grandma was born and raised in Wisconsin. Matter of fact, when we had
my history quiz, I ended up getting a 30 out of 30.
You got a 30 out of 30? Good job. All right, give me hugs.
And my grade went up from a 96 to 86 to 84. From a 76 to an 84.
Sweet. We're out of C range into B range. There we go. So she was born and raised. And matter of fact, when we had Mikey Balls on, Mikey Balls was born and raised on the same lake as my grandma. So I have an aunt, or she's a second cousin, third cousin. I don't know. It don't fucking matter. And they used to come down to the beach with us. And her husband was talking about this time he got a punctured lung and broken ribs, was in the hospital, and he said he got hit by a cow. And I was like, so he's telling this story. I was probably 12 or 13 years old, right? Like I wasn't no youngin'. I was a preteen. And he tells a story, and everybody finally gets quiet. And I go, how did you get hit by a cow? So this whole time, my South Carolina bumpkin ass is because I grew up around cows. I grew up on a peach farm. I grew up where they raised cows. So when you had to move the bull, we didn't have no cowboys. It was people out there hi-yawing and cattle prods and shit. So I'm sitting here imagining him getting hit by a cow, but in Wisconsin. And I'm like, how did you get hit by a cow? How did this happen? Like, you know, and it was about, you know, probably 10 seconds of silence, and people are like, no. And one of my parents had to go, car. Like, oh, yeah,
that'll change your thought process a little bit.
There we go.
That reminds me of the best northern interaction I ever had was when I was in Ohio and Pennsylvania. I run into some Amish people at the boat ramp where I was launching. And I'm gonna tell you what, nicest people in the whole world. We just sitting there talking, shooting shit, and he wanted to know about my kayak, my Hobie. So we was talking all about it, and I said, well, take it out. Have at it. He's like, oh, no, I can't afford that. You know, and I was like, well, you ain't got to buy it. You can just take it out and pedal around. So me and these guys sit and talk for 20, 30 minutes. Nicest dudes in the world. And I was like, so, where's the fish in this lake? Them boys shut up like I just confessed my sins to them. Now, nicest dudes in the world, they would have invited me back to eat with them. But they weren't going to tell me where they're fishing. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go this way. Bye.
That's how you know universal or fishing is a universal sport.
Yeah, and they just quit talking.
People will clam the hell up over some fishing spots now.
Well, I think I was 5 minutes away from either a dinner invite or marrying one of their sisters. And then when I asked about fishing, it was like, no, sinner. I was like, you didn't even heard my story yet. You think you're appalled now, you know? But it was a pretty funny interaction, you know, being at the boat ramp, and I don't know if they were Amish or Mennonite because one of their neighbors had pulled the boat for them. He had like this big F-350, and he dumped them in the water and took off. I was like, I guess he ain't one of them. But it was pretty cool to hang out with those guys for a minute and talk.
Yeah. Hey, man, you want to eat some good meat, some good bread, some good pastries. Oh, find you one of those Mennonite damn bakeries. Holy shit!
There's a thing called Amish peanut butter. I swear they put.
I've heard of it.
They've got to put crack in that. That is, it's like honey and peanut butter or something. That is some of the best stuff on earth.
I love good peanut butter now, but don't give me none of that fake Jif shit. Give me the just peanut. I need just on the ingredients. It needs to say peanuts and salt, and that's it. I want to have to mix it up every time I want to eat it. You know,
stick my Milwaukee drill in the end of it. Dump it on a cracker. I'm in the same peanut butter boat as you.
This is by far the shittiest fucking podcast on the internet. If you came here for fishing, I do not apologize.
How often have we talked about fishing?
I don't know. Every time
as a byproduct, yeah.
Every time you start talking about your fishing journey, we start talking about fucking peanut butter and dialects.
Well, it's like my fishing journey is going to take you down a rabbit hole. So if you came here for just fishing, you better get your money back.
Ain't nobody in their right mind come to listen to this fucking podcast to listen about fishing.
Well, that's what I've always tried to tell people. It's like, it's not just a fishing channel. I can't do just fishing. You know, there's just too many of them for me. You know, I have to go against what YouTube recommends by finding one niche and staying with it. Because, you know, one video I might be talking about beer. One video I might be talking about candy bars. One video I'll be working on my camper. You know, it's what I think the world of adventure should encompass, you know, and I don't want to be one niche channel, whether it works for or against me.
Well, Dustin, I'm going to be honest and real because I always am, and you can take this how you want to take it. But you definitely look like a motherfucker that would talk about candy bars,
Brother. I am a sugar connoisseur. Like I should have died when I was 12 from diabetes.
But all right. Now answer me this. This. Is chocolate candy?
Is chocolate candy? It's a confectionary. But
don't answer the question.
Yeah, I would call chocolate candy.
Hell no, you fucking wrong.
No,
chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate.
Candy
is Sour Patch Kids, sweet tarts, like
that.
Well,
see, I grew up in a bakery, so it's all confectionery to me. So
I'm gonna have to agree 100% with the Jabber Hammer on that. When I look at when I break down my sweets, it's like chocolate, and then there's candy like you said, Sour Patch Kids, Jolly Ranchers, that kind of thing. And the chocolate, I don't know, man. Whew, it's totally different.
Chocolate's not one of my favorite things in the whole world. I just as long as it's got sugar in it, I'll consume it. But like I could take or leave chocolate. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not. So it took my wife like 15 years when she would say, I say, buy me some candy, and she would show up fucking shitty ass Hershey Kisses or something. And I'm like, this ain't candy. Like in Reese's cups, like a good chocolate. This ain't no. When I say candy, I want Sour Patch Kids. I want chewy sweet tarts. I want fucking candy. I want that. I don't want no chocolate. I don't want no shit that's gonna melt my hand.
I'm not a huge fan of like the really sour stuff, and my wife loves that shit. That's what she eats sour food like she's permanently pregnant. Like that's all she eats is like super sour candy, and I'm like, no.
So do you live every day in fear that you're having another child?
Oh no, there ain't no threat of that.
You got fixed.
No sir. Best $40 I ever spent.
Look,
my wife.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my wife fucked me up one time with this. She likes all sorts of weird shit. So she had this chocolate covered ginger, like chocolate covered candied ginger, nastiest shit I've ever put in my mouth.
Ginger candy is one of the worst things ever.
Oh my god, it was awful. So we were driving somewhere. I don't remember where we were driving, but she was like, "Hey, you want some candy?" And I was like, "Sure." You want some of this? And she's like, "It's chocolate peanut butter like bites." I'm like, I should have known at that exact moment that there was a fucking lie because she never eats that shit. So she hands me like one of these pieces of candy. I pop it in my mouth. I chew it on a little bit, and then it's the most disgusting thing. And I'm driving. We're sitting in traffic. I'm going like 75 miles an hour. I know that's kind of slow for some people.
Hold on. You're sitting in traffic going, say, what the fuck? See, you can tell he in North Carolina traffic.
That's
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville,
75 miles per hour in traffic. That's what I'm saying. That's Carolina traffic.
And so I'm just like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my! I'm spitting in my hand this nasty ass shit to get out of my mouth because it was so disgusting. Every time she'll buy this nasty ass ginger bullshit, and I'm like, how do you eat this garbage?
And that shit gets stuck on the back of your throat, that ginger candy, and you can't. It's like all the time.
It's spot welded to the back of your throat.
Yeah, ginger candy is the worst candy you can buy.
No. I got one. So have y'all ever eaten the jelly beans, the fucking nasty ass, the jelly bean challenge?
we just did a thing not long ago. We had like a party at my friend's house, and we did that, and my buddy put a whole box in his mouth.
Ugh. So the first time I ever did it, me and a buddy, we fought fire together. This was a few years later. We were doing separate stuff, but I went down for some training and stayed with him. Well, I got down. We started drinking. I cooked dinner. We ate dinner. We're up drinking, having a good time, fucking farting around. And he brings out, what the hell are them jelly? I can't remember what they're called, but it's the jelly bean challenge. Bean Boozled, yeah. And so we wanted to play it, and the deal was no matter what jelly bean you chose, you had to eat it.
Yeah.
And we ended up throughout the night, eating the whole pack one by one, the fucking nasty jelly beans would get caught in your teeth.
It stays.
Get stuck in your teeth and stay. And I don't have a bad affinity for food. Like I eat chitlins, I eat all kinds of nasty shit. I don't think I could ever eat Bean Boozled beans again because I felt like I was going to throw up numerous times.
Those are some of the worst. When we did it at my
But
buddy's house,
the dead fish one and the dog food one.
The dog food one is. Ugh. Well, I told my wife after we had left the party. She says, "Didn't you get any bad ones?" I said, "I did. Every one of them I got was bad, but I'd be damned if they was gonna get a reaction out of me." Because I ate one, I was like, marshmallows, no good and well. It was freaking snot or something.
Boogers.
Yeah, I told him, I said, they wasn't getting a reaction out of me. Yeah, I wasn't doing it.
Did you get the Garballs one? Garballs and
they're all. But that was an interesting night because we were all pretty inebriated by the time we started that. I think it was a Christmas party or something. But they had, plenty of inebriation to go around at one of those, and then you start playing bean games with jelly beans.
So I'm gonna steal this one. Alex's first episode back. And y'all, unless he downloads this shit and listens to it, it's gonna be a surprise to him. And he might not, I don't know. But his first episode back, whoever our guest is, we're all gonna have the Bean Boozled game, and the whole fucking podcast is us playing Bean Boozled and drinking alcohol. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that shit. Hell yeah, because that shit's fucking nasty.
You know what we need to do? Me and my buddy did the Pocky One Chip Challenge. We should do that on here.
Let me tell you something.
But do it on the day you don't have to work the next day.
No, fuck that shit. Look, I eat a lot of hot stuff. People fuck up by drinking milk. Milk is the worst fucking thing you can drink after eating one of these peppers or hot chip challenges. That shit doesn't help, and it fucks your stomach up even more.
It did mine.
Look, just eat it. It's going to be hot. Drink water or eat ice cream and popsicles. Don't drink ice cream. Fucking milk. Milk is the absolute worst thing that you can drink on these things. And when people are eating bread and drinking milk, it's you're fucked up. You're fucked up.
I have to get ice cream because I can't drink just straight milk. It don't do nothing for me. And when me and my buddy did the challenge, he didn't eat nothing. He let it burn all the way out. Never touched anything.
Probably fine.
He drank a beer like 20 minutes later, but he paid for it that night. He had an acid reflux attack in the bathroom.
God.
Oh yeah. You definitely got to have some Tums and Zantac and Prilosec. You got to pregame, but the milk. PSA: if y'all eat the peppers or the one chip challenges, bullshit like that, fucking put the milk away. Drink your water. Drink your ice cold water. That's going to help the best, and it's going to help your tummy afterwards. Eat some Tums later, but ain't nothing going to quell the hotness. That shit is there.
It was pretty damn hot. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah, well, that shit's going to be hot. I mean, look at it. That bitch is like 8 million scones.
But it's nasty as funk. It's like eating a piece of cardboard with powder on it. It was the worst chip I've ever had in my life. It was so bad.
Well, I mean, you know what? They don't make it a one chip. They don't make it one chip for it to taste good.
Well, they could throw some damn chili lime or something on that motherfucker and make it a little more tasty. I mean, it don't have to taste like a damn cereal box lid.
At least give it some good crunch or something like that.
I mean, sprinkle some Captain Crunch on it. I mean, damn.
You can do that shit on your own. I mean, they got to make it hot. And when you put all that damn capsaicin up in there, look, it's going to fuck up with the texture of that chip. That corn chip has turned into cardboard.
Yeah, it's coated at that point. It's that polyurethane hot spray on bed liner at that point.
All right, so we got 2 new podcast episodes. One is Bean Boozled, playing Bean Boozled, and 2 is the Hot Chip Challenge. So if I don't remember this shit, y'all make sure to remind us. We got to wait till Alex gets back because Alex is a little bitch, man. He look. This man tried to eat. What was it? Was it liverwurst? Somebody on one of the early podcasts said liverwurst for one of their answers on protein, and Alex made a liverwurst sandwich and posted him trying to eat it. And he couldn't even eat it. So his little munchkin ass ain't gonna be able to make it through either one of them. I don't think.
I'm pretty picky when it comes to food, but I'll try anything twice, so it don't matter.
Look, I ain't found nothing I won't eat. I used to hate raisins, but now I eat them by the handfuls. I'll eat damn near anything. I love brains. Brains got to be mixed in with something, but brains are the one things I just can't eat raw.
Put a little hot sauce on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, here's the other thing too. Brains will fuck you up. You eat the wrong set of brains and you get some kind of disease. I ain't into that shit. No, about the weirdest I've done is a beef tongue. So how is that weird? Both lingue, that shit is delicious.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it.
It's the best fucking pot roast you'll ever eat.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's probably the weirdest.
I don't know if I've ever had like a lot of weird stuff, but volume, I can put some volume away. Like when I was doing a lot of like working out, lifting and like that kind of thing, dude, I was doing like eating challenges. I think the most I ever did was, I think it was 2.5 pounds of pulled pork, 2 sides of slaw, and 6 like big hush puppies in 30 minutes, dude. Whew, that was brutal. But like I've always been like a big volume guy. Like I can definitely just put it away.
My volume hasn't been that great here lately, unless you're talking about steak or pizza. If it's steak,
pizza,
I'll take on anybody when it comes to steak.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if my father-in-law cooks it, because that man has done and set the standard for my steak attack. So
back to the tongue, pork tongue and beef tongue. It's got an outer layer to it. You got to pull off, otherwise you might as well be eating the fucking cardboard.
I let these little Mexican people cook it for me at this restaurant. You can order it off menu.
Yeah,
I put it on the sandwich.
Yeah,
we just go get the tongue tortas.
Oh yeah.
Whatever they're shredding up and putting in a tortilla, I'm eating.
Look, I love a good damn organ meat. Matter of fact, we just bought half a cow a couple weeks ago, and I split it with my sister. And she don't eat no organ meat, but I got 3 huge packs of heart. I must have 15 packs of liver. I got the lung. I cannot wait to fry up some heart. Pork and beef heart, you slit it into little slits and you pan fry it in just some oil, some good vegetable oil, some high heat oil. You pan fry it. Man, that shit is good. That's
you're only about 5 hours away from me, and I've drove a hell of a lot further than that to not catch fish. So, good dinner.
Hey, bring your ass down here. We'll eat some liver lights, and some cow heart, and I'll take you to Jordan and Sharon Harris. I promise you, we'll catch something.
Well, shit, there's a QC event coming up here soon.
All right, we all just need to wind up at a campground somewhere with some black stones and some thin sliced hearts.
I'm actually not going to be able to make that one. I'm not going to be able to meet the
here we go with the.
I'm going to be in Wilmington, man. I'm going to be in Wilmington on vacation.
Oh my! Raleigh, North Carolina is so much better than Wilmington. You know, just skip that day.
Yeah, my wife is going to be real happy about that. It's our anniversary too. Like our anniversary is like the 30th. So.
Man, y'all already had plenty. You've had plenty of anniversaries.
Yeah.
Once you've had 2, you should have covered it by then.
That's true.
All right, so Dustin, back to your fishing. I'm just kidding. We're fucking past the fishing story. we fucked that little segment up.
Oh yeah.
Years ago.
Tori over at Hook Sets of Life is going to be disappointed that we went down so many rabbit holes.
Well, she's going to be fine because we didn't talk about butt stuff. I'm pretty sure that's her cutoff.
I'm lost. I got nothing.
That was, you would have to have been on a whole nother podcast that we were guest on. Anyway, I don't know, but yeah. Look. Speaking of Hookset's wife, whatever the hell, I can't remember. She was drinking 11% alcohols. Like if, I mean, Bo, I'm drinking. I'm drinking 8% White Claw surges over here, and she was down in those little 11% wines in a can faster than I was.
These are all
that
7.5.
was killing me, and I didn't even notice it till one of y'all pointed it out that she was two-handing it.
I know. She should have just gone ahead. She said, "I got my one tonight." That one was gone in like the first 30 minutes, and she was cracking open another. She should have just poured that shit in a Yeti cup and just rolled with it.
Anytime I've ever heard of anybody drinking wine out of a can, I always think about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. when they do that episode where they're all drinking wine out of a can, it's fucking hilarious. I love that show.
I wasn't really into wine out of a can. Where I grew up was always wine out of a box because one of my best friends growing up, what was it? Stanza? What was it? Something
Franzia. Franzia.
Yeah, they always
like
so
slap the bag.
Yeah. When we were in college and we'd go back home and we would all end up at his house for whatever reason, and they had box after box after box of wine, and we would just I mean it
Hammer
would look
it.
Yeah. I mean it would look like an emptied out bag.
Oh yeah.
That bitch, we would drain it.
The bag wine.
I draw the line at wine, especially the boxed IV bag wine. No. My wife, she's a wine connoisseur, but me, no, I don't do wine.
Well, I love wine.
Not even with a nice steak. No.
Nope.
Oh man, that's nice.
There was some snooty son of a bitch at a fancy restaurant broke me of that kind of stuff.
Did you throw up wine the next night?
No. Now I did get a super bad hangover from these great big bottles of wine. My uncle went through this phase where he thought he was a wine connoisseur, and I really thought he was going to come out. I thought he was going to come out as an alternate lifestyle for a little while.
Was it?
But he had these great big bottles of really dry red wine. And before he got back home, me and my other uncle had already polished one off just to drink it. And I got wine drunk one night and had the worst hangover the next day. Ain't touched it since.
So I love red wine. I love beer. But over the last about 5-6 years, that shit fucks me up so bad. That's why, honestly, that's why I drink these White Claws and these White Claw surges. Is because beer, I love beer. It fucks my stomach up. Bo, I feel like somebody put a damn my air hose in my ass and shot it up for 30 minutes. I'm bloated. I'm rolling around. Fucking stomach hurt. Can't eat. Fucks me up. That's why I drink White Claws. That shit I don't get hangovers, and it don't make me feel like shit.
I have to drink more of the higher quality craft kind of beers, because if I drink like Coors Light where they use cornstarch for their sugar, it bothers my acid reflux real bad, and I can't. It gives me the worst indigestion.
Oh yeah. Corn syrup bad for that. Hey, I'll tell you what. People that talk shit about White Claws, if you start drinking the surges, that shit will sneak up on your ass. That's 8% seltzer water. It's 8% alcohol water. That's what it is. And you sit there, you drink 4 or 5 of those, in your ass, you going to the moon.
Oh, yeah.
You might not know where the fuck you are,
well,
because that shit is like drinking water.
Nothing's off limits in Florida. I drink everything from Seagrams to damn Trulies. I don't care. So what's in the fridge? Okay.
That's right. I don't discriminate against alcohol. If it's there and it's all you got, I'm drinking it and I will live with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why I'm fat as fuck.
Welcome to the club.
Yep, we know. Says the Chocolate Man.
Right.
Hand Job Adventures, aka the Chocolate Man.
Chocolate. It's going off the rails.
Oh, but this bitch
going off the rails.
We're an hour and 40 minutes in, and this is probably the podcast we've talked the least amount of fishing on.
100%.
Hey, I will tell you this. The good thing about this is that I won't get texts from my buddies that were like, the podcast was really good, but I just tune out with the kayak talk. I don't have to worry about them tuning out with the kayak talk tonight, even though we got 3 kayak anglers on here, because we really didn't talk about shit with kayaks or fishing.
We gave them the full compliment tonight.
Sure did.
I'll tell you what, man, that's how this shit goes. This is why we focus on content creators, because we literally never know where this shit's going to go sometimes. But the thing about this is fishing is just a part of content creation. You can create content. Oh, cats. Let's take cats, because I love fucking social media cat content.
Who doesn't? The internet loves it.
But if you have a cat and you want to start creating viral content, take a 10-second video of your cat sitting there looking at you blinking. Post that shit, and there's a 1 in 10 chance it's going to go viral.
It's viral.
The weirdest shit now that freaks me out the most is the ASMR. Like the ASMR content as a whole.
Was that bondage? What is that?
ASMR. It's where you whisper the whole time.
Yeah, and they rub shit on the microphone and stuff. That's so.
It freaks me out. I don't get it. I don't get the sensation that people say they get. And just like you're talking about, like cats, dogs, they'll just feed dogs treats and just put the microphone right next to their face so that they hear all of the chewing sounds. People love that shit. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. That's weird fucking content creation.
Y'all hear how I'm talking right now? That's my fucking whisper.
Yeah.
If you ask me to whisper something in church, everybody's gonna hear it. I don't have no whisper mode. I have loud and fucking loud.
Yeah. People whisper and then they'll cut their beard with scissors so that it makes that sound.
That's
and
creepy.
It's just fucking weird. I don't get it.
First of all,
the only thing that really gets me about TikTok though is when shit gets super trendy and they just wear something out.
Oh, it's corn.
The damn corn song. Oh, geez. I about threw my phone in the toilet the other night. I'm like, the first 5 videos of someone putting that fucking corn song over something. Like, I don't care about your dog drinking fucking water, and it's like, it's got the juice.
Look, the song's catchy.
Yeah, but it does have the juice.
Nope.
Look,
I'm gonna walk around in Crocs and play the corn song and point it at my feet.
Eating tongue.
Eating tongue. Getting ham boners.
Getting ham boners.
Shit, I should have been a comedian.
Look, that's the thing about being a comedian. There's no age limitations. Rodney Dangerfield was wonderful as an old man who didn't know where he was, wearing a diaper, shitting himself.
I told my wife I was going to do a stand-up one night, and she said, "What you going to do it on?" I said, "How sea turtles are shitty parents," and she's like, "No." I was like, "All right."
Have y'all seen that TikTok in the background? The woman's like, "If this is another one of your fucking TikTok videos, you hollering about that." That's my wife. I just can't catch her on video when I'm doing shit all the time because she knows. Like, I try to catch her slipping and do some damn TikTok, and she's like, "I see your fucking. I can tell when you're not videotaping." Like, damn it! I try to scare her, and she's like, "I'm not getting scared when you're videotaping." She's just not fun. I'm like, you could be famous. She's like, I don't want to be famous.
She could go viral. My wife went viral for her feet.
Oh shit!
Make that money.
Seriously. She's got not her big toe, but the next 2 toes are webbed together, and she's got a tattoo on them, like the surgeons, like you would see like a joke surgeon or like a cartoon where it's like the dashed line and like a cut here. She's got that tattoo on her toes to like cut them in half. But like she posted a picture of that or a video of her taking her socks off and then showing her feet. Like seriously, 150,000 views, like 12,000 likes, just feet talk all over it.
That has nothing to do with the tattoo. Look,
Oh
you
yeah, I
should
know.
start an OnlyFans page for her feet. You'd probably be millionaires.
You could have retired by now.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my wife has a TikTok, but all of her TikToks is of me trying different types of peeps. And that's like I'm some damn peep connoisseur. And that's her entire TikTok feed. And she's gotten thousands of views for me being hypercritical over peeps.
Look, my fat ass husband eats peeps.
That's it. That's exactly what it
You
is.
can catch a 10-pound bass and put it on there, and you get more views eating a pink peep.
Eating a damn peep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it works though.
Hey, again, that's why I told you. If you got kitty cats, take a picture, take a video of that fucking kitty cat. Just post it. No music, no words, no nothing. Just post that shit.
My most viral video had nothing to do with fishing or travel or nothing. It was a work video I posted. And it was just us taking mattresses down through a foyer of this old hotel in Asheville called the Grove Park Inn. And
I know Grove Park Inn.
We're dropping mattresses down, and we had to do it a certain way because it's 100-plus-year-old hotel. They don't fit on the elevator, and they told us we can't just toss them over the side. So we've got this.
No, we got rednecks moving mattresses out. First thing
You go back and find the video, you will see that's exactly. It's a redneck engineering at its finest. But we have got a ladder and a lift system that's made for shingles and solar panels. And we are taking mattresses up and down this foyer in this hotel. And we had to like protect this old ass 100-year-old stencil painting on the side. And I put that video up with we're doing some sketchy shit sound. And it's got almost 4 million views on it.
Damn.
That's a lot.
Hey,
well, see, I knew it was going to be something because I videoed it, and then the next day I heard the video coming from up on the balcony, and the housekeepers were like, "Hey, that's here," and I turned around and went, "That's my video." And that's the day it hit like 1.5, and then it just went up from there, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's like Alex Rudd. Like one of his first TikToks was him putting a Hobie drive in. It was like 10 seconds or something. You can still find it. It's literally him putting, it might not have been a Hobie. It was some kind of drive he just put into a kayak, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And this thing's got like millions and millions of views. He says every now and again he'll get an alert where there's like 250,000 views on this.
That's the way that mattress video. Every now and again I'll get a ding. Someone liked your video, or someone made a smart ass comment because they think they know more than you, kind of thing.
Of course.
But I think TikTok is throttling my videos because ever since then I haven't had a video. Like I had a shark video that got like 1,500, but I think they're throttling me at like between 200 and 300. And I was like,
shadow banned.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I don't know what I've done, but
that's what everybody thinks when they ain't getting.
That's exactly what I'm, and that's the hill I'm dying on too. I'm not unpopular. I'm shadow banned.
There you go.
Look, I took that, so I looked and I thought and I saw. I was like, some of the most mundane, everyday, 5 to 10 second bullshit is what's going viral. So a few weeks ago, I just started doing stupid shit like that. If you look at my TikTok, I'll say, y'all look, and all the y'all look videos are me literally going, y'all look, and me putting a nozzle into my gas tank, or me opening my fucking door, or me putting my truck into gear. They ain't going viral yet, but one day I'm going to hit. I might be 75 years old. I might not know who the fuck I am or where I am, but I'm going to make a TikTok of me going to pissing in the toilet, and that shit's gonna go viral, and I'm gonna live my life in happiness.
If you don't make the shirt of that meme I sent you about y'all look with about the movie from The Shining, when it's like he's like, here's Johnny, and he's using the axe to come through the door, I'm gonna be pissed.
Look, Alex
It's
has
fucking
plans.
hilarious.
Alex has plans to make shirts. Apparently, he's got some shit to actually screen print shirts. And when he retires and he gets home, he's got all these plans. And I told him, I was like, Alex, when you get home, you're going to be a stay-at-home dad, and your wife is going to put your ass to work.
Oh yeah.
But he's got all these shirt ideas, so I can't wait to see that comes up, because the y'all look shirts that Josh has made, they were a semi-big hit. Like,
Yeah.
I got a bunch of people walking around, and people see me. Matter of fact, Josh from Abide Fishing had one on one of his videos a couple weeks ago. So it's just nice that, my face is on people's titties.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me find one. I'll rock that bitch.
Well, you had your chance. That they're done. You're going to have to buy it secondhand, because Josh ain't making no more. I told him he should have numbered them. But if they're going on eBay, you let me know, because I will have reached my mecca of starting them.
Pete.
Well, my wife gets mad when I'm over there trying to do a video. She's, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, I'm fucking famous. Leave me alone.
Well, I told my wife, I said, I'm trying to be TikTok famous here.
My wife's like, you're not fucking 16 years old. Give it up.
See, that's the thing. Everybody thinks like this TikTok thing is like for like super young people, but I mean, anybody born after like the millennial generation, dude, anything that comes out, it's ours too, because fuck that shit. Like
some of the most viewed content are old people doing shit.
Yeah.
They're
Gen Xers, we got our fingerprints on everything.
Look, old people doing something and cussing. If you're above the age of 65 and you cuss in a video and you post it on the internet, you're not going to get shadow banned. You're going to be bumped up to the top.
100%.
You know what the funniest one is? Have you seen the little old black lady that her daughter takes care of her? I think it's called Lottery or something. And she is funny as hell. And she'll let them have it. Like, her daughter will say something, and she just rips into these kids. And I'm like,
no, the funniest that I'm watching right now, and I can't get enough of, is the lady that reviews cooking videos, but she's got the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
the statue. I can't think of her name right now. Let me find it.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, let me find it.
There's so many that come through on mine that come through all the time now that I was like, I don't even know why this person, I don't follow them. I haven't checked their page out, but it's like they are just pushing this one person on me. And it's like, so let me go click on their page, and they got like 5 million followers. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know who the hell you are, but they like to push it on my channel. And for some reason, TikTok thinks I want to watch people make fucking tumblers. Because my buddy.
Hey, that's the redneck. That's a redneck status. Is when you got a tumbler that is made, that has got that stenciled, abbreviation in your name.
I don't give a shit about live, laugh, love with some glitter and shit. Like, when I first got TikTok, I was watching my buddy's page, and I'm like, okay, now that's okay. All right, I can watch that or get behind that. I open TikTok, and it's like, okay, guys, we're going to turn this cup this way and then pour some resin on a dice. And I was like, how the fuck do I get to your side of TikTok over here, what you're watching? Like, I don't care about tumblers and 3D printing. I mean, 3D printing's cool, don't get me wrong, but I can only watch someone make a bendy dragon so many times.
Well, I think it's a sign that you need to start making tumblers.
Mm-hmm.
I got enough damn hobbies. If I told my wife I was going to start making tumblers,
she might go, hey, look, this is what you do. You get her, you sell it to her that she needs to make tumblers. and you just post the content. She does all the work.
No, I'm gonna stay married this week.
Like, no, I don't think so.
She's done laid the law that if I pick up another hobby, I have to lose a hobby. So,
but that's what I'm saying. Make it her hobby.
Well, I'll present it. When I talk to her tonight before I go to bed, I'm like, hey, so neat idea.
The Jabber Hammer told me that
we're going to make Jabber Hammer tumblers, and we're going to paint little fucking Crocs on them.
With balls. Crocs with balls.
We're going to put Bass and Brews, and you need to have your own line of Bass and Brews Crocs.
Well, if Crocs would like holler at me, we can make them. I would do it. I'm trying to find this video. I have saved all of her videos I've ever seen, and none of them are coming up. But I know that she said at one point that some of hers were getting like taken off. I guess because she was mean. I don't know. They're not mean. But anyway, it's a lady that reviews cooking videos, and she's got the what the fuck's it called?
It's a filter.
She's a Statue of Liberty filter, and she's reviewing it, and it is funny as absolute fuck.
Well, now I'm gonna have to go find it. Or now that you've said it, it'll just automatically come across my feed.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Actually, no. What's going to come across your page, your Google, and your Facebook ads are all going to be tumblers now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. People make a shit ton of money if they make tumblers and they put like stuff inside of them for gentlemen when they're.
Bo, how much would how many tumblers could you sell? Ham boner tumblers.
Yeah, if you make them like personal device. You see them sitting there turning on the rack, and you
Dustin, when you talk to your wife tonight, Dustin, say, baby, I have the best idea I've ever had. I'm changing my name to Hand Job Adventures, and we're gonna make tumblers with hand job adventures, and they're gonna be all sexual innuendos.
And listen, I've got this really cool tool called a Sawzall, and what we're going to do is attach a tumbler to the.
How about the one guy? There was one guy that had like a deformed hand where he only had like, it was like these two fingers, and it was like all one finger, and he had a thumb, and he would just like post videos of it, and women would comment endlessly as like, just make a toy and be a millionaire. And I think he actually did. I never really like followed up with it, but like, holy shit.
Look, this is what you got to do. Your wife makes the tumblers, and then you cut them up on the bandsaw.
There you go.
Right.
Review how well it cuts instead of holds water.
You remember the guy years ago that used to take Yeti coolers and cut them in half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went viral for that crap. All right, I got a song that'll do that.
I cannot find, damn it. I don't know how to work TikTok to find shit. I've liked all of her videos, but they're not there. But anyway, fuck that, because I'd be here all night trying to find that shit. This has been fun as fuck. What else we got to talk about? I mean, I could go on like this for another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, we've already covered everything from traveling to Sawzall sex toys. So I mean.
I know, we ain't talked a lick about fucking fishing except for your
Nope.
I mean, the only fishing content that we talked about was Vinny and his gel hair at 3:00 in the morning at the boat ramp. That's the only fishing content we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, that's what happens. But this has been fun. What else do we have to talk about? Otherwise, we're going to have to start asking questions, and you're going to have to start answering them, Dustin. Well,
that's all right. I'm an open book, so careful what you ask.
Have you listened? How many episodes of this podcast have you listened to, Dustin? How far back have you gone?
Quite a bit. I've got a revolving section of podcasts, and it's like Rogan, followed by Bass and Brews, and then a couple others that filter in there.
For us to be named behind Rogan, we've made it.
I'm on the road so much, whether it be for fishing or for work, that I don't even turn the radio on in my car. I just turn on Spotify And then I literally have 5 or 6 podcasts that are in rotation. When I listen to the newest one of that one, I go to the next one. And that's basically how I get through my week without suicide.
Most of mine, so I do a lot of driving too during the week, and majority I listen to a fishing podcast. I don't listen to much outside of that. My time allocated to listening fits into the fishing podcast that I like and enjoy. So I don't listen to much outside of that. But that's the great thing about podcasts, right? So, we've talked about growing the YouTube channel. And we're like, why the fuck would we grow the YouTube channel? I mean, we get some decent views on YouTube, especially when they're a YouTube-centric person. But people like the podcast platform is a way for people to be able to listen and not be there, if that makes sense, right? Like It can be background noise. They can cook, they can drive, they can turn it on when their wife starts hollering at them or asking them to do shit. Like they can do all these things, and you can listen to podcasts. You don't have to be engaged visually. And I think it's fun sometimes on these podcasts, on our podcast, to be engaged visually, but not really. I mean, we're just three people sitting around here shooting the shit, right? There's nothing. We're not showing diagrams or anything like that. Now, when we do the Bean Boozled and we do the one chip challenge, people probably should tune into that shit visually.
Well, if anybody is watching my stuff for educational purposes and they get something out of it, good on you, because I'm not trying to be Professor Huggy. That's not my forte. What I want to do is go on a trip and adventure and take you with me. I don't want to be a teacher if I go somewhere that I think's cool, I'll explain where I'm at and what I'm doing and what's going on in the area, but it was never intended to be an educational channel.
All right, for the folks that ain't country, he said, I'll explain. But the way he said it sounded like he said Alex. But he said, I'll explain.
I'll explain.
I'll explain. It's all one word. See, when you're country, we talk so slow that we got to combine all of our vowels into a word. So if you spelled out the word that we said, it would make no sense. It would look like hieroglyphic.
Look like a never-ending sentence. Now how somebody just hits all the keys on the button. What the hell did he say? Oh, he said I'm fixing to go get something.
I've been meaning to do this, and I haven't yet. So since I'm driving a lot, I try to text to talk. And when I text to talk, some of the shit that this phone puts out there is absolutely ridiculous. And I have yet to do it, to take screenshots, because, I'd have to say, this is what I said. This is what it said. I have texted some shit to my wife before and don't look. I just text it and say send, right? It sends it. An hour later, I get something back of like, I got my headphones on and Siri will send a text from wife. Damn it, Siri, shut the fuck up. She'll say text from wife and it'll read out, what the hell did you just call me? It's like
you would think Apple and Android would have like a
Appalachian mode.
Like you would have to like select what state you're from before.
Well, when it comes to my smarter than me phone, I am just screwed either way because I got the big clumpy thumbs. So my text to speak ain't much better than me hitting 3 buttons at the same time on that thing. So
look,
I'll be texting her good night, I love you, and it'll come out kiss my ass. So.
I can't tell you how many times I text somebody back, and because I say love you to my wife so much that I'll text them back, and at the end it'll say love you. Or my dumb ass will be talking to text driving down the road. I say, okay, blah blah blah, love you, and it sends. I'm like, wait, take back. You can't take that shit back.
Whenever I'm on the phone and I get off, I'm like, all right, later. And every time someone will say, well, I love you too, because they think I'm saying love you when I say bye, I can say later. My aunt's the worst. So I'll call her and she'll say, why'd you tell me you love me? I was like, I didn't, but I do, but I didn't. It's like, well, you got to open your mouth and move your tongue when you talk, Dustin, or it don't come out. So that's another thing that I'm actually working on with my YouTube is me no talkie so good, and I'm trying to get better at it because when I listen to playback,
touchdown Bills. Josh
spoiler
Allen.
alert, I'm on commercials here.
Look, man, hit that fast forward button.
It's a fucking hotel. It don't have a fast forward button.
Well, look,
it's got porn and football. That's it.
Well, your internet service, Alex blames his poor internet service on his shitty phone that he's got. Apparently, your internet service has been flawless.
Mm-hmm.
I will. That's the one I will not talk. I will not dump shit on this phone I got. This phone I use this phone for filming, vlogging, editing, all kind of shit.
What phone is it?
The Samsung Ultra 21 Ultra.
You know what? You're in timeout. All right, guys. For folks that are listening and not watching, I'm
a Samsung guy too.
Oh my God, I'm going to be on this podcast by myself. So, well, I'll go back to creating content. 628 Dirt Rooster. He's a beekeeping guy. And he's, 100-something thousand. He's awesome. You don't even have to like bees to watch his shit because he's very good at what he does. And he used to record all of his content on an iPhone. And that was it. And what he put out was phenomenal and just as good, if not better, than the people that had all these cameras set up. And he had a fucking iPhone. And he used the iPhone because he was getting honey and shit on it and bees were stinging it and it was easy to clean and stuff, but he used the iPhone. You don't need GoPros. You don't need Canons. You don't need all these fancy cameras. You can do shit as long as that bitch records video and audio. You can put shit out there that people will watch. Now, I will say this with 4K and 5K and all that. You need to have clear pictures that can't, these videos that look like motherfucker took that shit on a Razor flip phone back in 2006. Like that's not it. But damn, I use iPhone. Any iPhone in the last 6 years will take good enough quality video that shit's sharp and clear. And that goes for probably most of your phones over the last 5 years.
I've gotten to where I really only use the GoPro when I'm either on the boat or something that's potentially sketchy that'll destroy my phone. Other than that, my phone has been my primary recording tool. One of the YouTubers that I watch a lot is one of the van life guys up in Canada. Everything he shoots is on his iPhone. Everything. And other than his drone work, and it's spectacular.
Yeah, that's the thing about editing, though, is like for me, I don't like to edit. I don't want to spend a lot of time editing. If you're good at editing, you can create some epic shit. And so I think there's so in fishing, you either got to catch big fish, you got to be entertaining or educational, or a combination of those three in fishing. But in general, to put out good content, in general, you either got to have really, really good production, or that shit's got to be raw. Like you've got to touch the people that, you think about it, a lot of the people that are watching YouTube in a fishing sense are just getting into it. But like being either raw, 100% raw dog, or putting out that really good content that's highly produced. I'll give you a good example. Joe LaBarbera, who's been on the podcast Good Time, he's putting out some shit right now that is phenomenal on content, on the production side. It's great. But then you have other people that put out, like Greg. Greg does great production stuff, but his stuff's still real raw. I mean, there's nothing special to what he's doing. But, I mean, you gotta figure out what you're good at doing and doing it.
When I first started the Project 50 stuff, I wanted it to have a raw, self-shot look. And now I'm getting to where I want it a little more refined, a little more smooth. I enjoy the editing process. I'm just not where I think I need to be to make a quality product. And that's one thing that I've actually been working on behind the scenes. Like I'll set up my phone and shoot clips of me doing stuff just to try to find a cool angle or something different and how I can merge it with another clip. And I'm on the verge of taking an editing class just to hone that skill to make it a little bit better because I know I'm not that great at it. You know, at first the self-shot raw footage I felt was the way I wanted to go, but now I think I want something a little more polished when it comes to my YouTube channel.
It can
Well,
definitely
see,
be tedious, like just
yeah,
because you're looking through hours. You know, when I go out on the water and I'm, you know, looking at my day in the editing process, like I'm looking at 8+ hours sometimes of raw footage, and you know, obviously GoPros break it down into like 20-minute segments, but like or 20-minute loops, but I mean, still, you're looking through hours and hours and hours of content, and you're just like, did I talk during this clip? Did I catch a fish during this clip? When did I catch the next fish? You know, and that's a tough part, and really having to go through all of that step by step to make sure you don't miss anything. And then it's that process of like, all right, going back through after you've kind of done your initial cut, like, all right, do I want that little clip in there, that little bit of B-roll? Do I want that? You know, do I want to conclude this fish? Do I really care about that? If it was like if I caught a bunch, you know, it's definitely a different process when you're looking through that much raw footage and trying to figure it all out. Because you know, when I'm fishing, especially in a tournament, I don't want to have to sit here and hit the record button. Or if I'm fighting a fish, I don't want to have to worry about like, oh my God, is my camera on? I just leave that shit on. It just rolls for 8 hours, you know?
yeah. And so I've done both ways, but for me, I've said it 35 million times. I don't want to do all that shit. So I say GoPro start recording, GoPro stop recording. I
Mm.
use that voice command function a lot. So I miss hook sets. Now if I'm on some fish, I'll leave it recording. But I'm always stopping and starting my recordings. So when I download that stuff, when I go to look at it, because once you take it out of the GoPro platform, if you highlight it, those highlights are gone. And so I stop and start my GoPro a lot through the voice commands. And even so, if I want to get some casting in the morning or, you know, whatever, I'll
Mm.
do that. But so I stop and start and stop and vice versa, my recordings. So when they download, I know somewhere usually within that 10-minute, 5-minute time frame, that's what I need. And then I pick out all the shit that I want in the video. I cut it out and I put it in a program. And then I watch the program and then I start taking it down. And so I think Hambone, you and I talked about this. We talked about this too with Hookset with Ryan's. My videos are like 10 to 15 minutes in length. So I'll take out all the shit out of that initial editing. I put it in there and then I watch the video and I'm like, yeah, this is superfluous, or this is, you know, this isn't interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the fish catches are number one. Second, any fuck ups,
Oh yeah.
backlashes, getting hung up, getting hung, you know, me doing some stupid shit, that's always in there. And that's kind of what I put into mine. There's not a lot of cinematography to that. But I will
Mm-hmm.
say, Dustin, going back to what you said about making, you know, your content, you know, I guess more professional is the way that I put it. A lot of that too is about how you shoot it. And so if you've ever taken a cinematography class or you know, any kind of photo class, they talk about the angles of your shots. They talk about the thirds and shit like that. So many of those shots, that stuff that make the thing good is that camera angle, and learning the camera angles and learning the thirds and how to frame shots like that right there will cut down on editing time because you have that shot framed out. So I mean, there's a lot to learn, and you see this too. You hear this with people in fishing, especially that have some kind of marketing background or they have some kind of photography background, their shit's usually good because they know how to frame the shots real well. And so they just edit it out. But editing is an art on its own.
Yeah, for me the editing is where I start playing mind games with myself. It was like he said, you'll start with an 8-hour clip, you get it cut down to 10 minutes, and then you've watched that 10-minute clip 20 times. You're like, oh, that sucks. No one's gonna watch that. I don't like that. Do I want to leave that in? And before you know it, you've got a 5-minute clip. You throw that on YouTube and you just pray someone's going to make it through the whole 5 minutes because you shortened it down for their attention span, even though you talked yourself out of 5 minutes of extra footage that you thought was okay.
But I'm good with that because on a new YouTube channel, I'm probably going to watch 5 or less minutes the majority of the time.
That's where my mindset is.
But see, as you grow your audience, you can start to increase those videos and you get better at it. I mean, every single person that has done anything on video editing and creating these videos say all your early videos are going to suck.
Yeah.
But as you get along, first of all, you realize who your audience is. So then you start making videos for that audience. And then that's when you start going it out. And, you know, that's a big touchdown Diggs. Buffalo just took the lead. 31-10. 31-10.
Damn.
Hey-o. But you know, that's the hard part about it is there's a huge learning curve that most people have to take in the editing side, figuring out who their audience is, figuring out what they want. Most people give up before they figure that out. A lot of people give up before they even get close to it. Some people give up a video or two away. It's just being consistent. Again, this podcast, we put it out once a week, every week. Every now and again, we'll throw in a bonus episode, a live episode. Our whole thing was we're going to put out an episode a week. We're not going to miss it. Doesn't matter. We're going to put out an episode. And Ramon Outdoors talks about this a lot for his stuff. It's about consistency. And start off slow. Once a month, you can always add more. But if you start out once a week and then you quit putting it out once a week and you start putting it once a month, you know, people aren't going to invest. Yeah, they're not going to invest their time.
On the algorithm, that's backing up. And what I try to do is I've only done it a couple times where I haven't dropped some kind of video once a week in the long form content. But now that they've done these short videos, I've been trying to sprinkle a short in and play with that a little bit throughout the week. And the short videos have actually brought me over 100 different subscribers since I've started putting out short videos. I had one short video got almost 10,000 views. So,
very nice.
Well, so you can take a 10-minute video and you can create 30 shorts off of that 10-minute video. And so the people are going to those shorts. So this is why TikTok is what it is. This is why Facebook is pushing their reels. This is why Instagram is going away from the old Instagram model to reels, because those short videos are what people want to watch. Because what are they doing? They got their thumb and they're going up, and then they stop and are like, oh shit. So that short shit gets people engaged, and then it gets them into maybe watching long form content.
And now Now YouTube has fixed the issue where if they watch a short video, it will recommend your channel to them, or they'll tell you that the short video came out of one of your other videos. So it is bridging a gap that I think is pretty cool. And for me, for my plan going forward is I'm going to just make a stack of content. Like I'll make like 30 or 40 short videos and just leave them in the can and then just drop one every other day. And then on Saturday or Sunday, drop my long form content. And I've noticed that Hambone and some of the others always drops theirs on the weekends too. I try to be real cognizant of when they drop because I don't want to drop on top of them. But my thing is my internet at my house sucks. So I have to go to my in-laws' house to upload my videos. So I spent all week working on this video, and I've got it on my phone. So I have to run to my in-laws while I'm hanging out at their house. So if I have a video drop and it just happens to be 5 or 10 minutes after one of the other guys that I hang out with or talk to, it's not intentional. It's just that's when I have the ability to drop the video.
But you can't look at it like that because there's so much dropping now, like dropping on top of people or doing podcasts on top of people. Like that stuff doesn't fucking matter, man, because it's the people are going to watch your stuff and they're going to have it queued up. You just said you have your podcast queued up. You're going to listen to podcasts every day and you're going to run through them. When you run through them, you're going to back up. So I do the same thing. I started doing this with TikTok, and I take my TikTok and post it straight to Instagram. I've got 30 drafts of TikTok videos right now, and they're fishing. They're me doing dumb shit. They're my crushing business, and I've been posting 2 to 4 times a day, and on that. And so I create them, I put them in drafts, and I just go through and pick one, and I post it throughout the day. Now, here's something I just learned. On Facebook, you can get compensated on your reels on Facebook, but you don't get the views. And I'm throwing air quotes for people who aren't watching. If you post it straight to Facebook with a TikTok,
if it's got the watermark on it,
yep, it doesn't get it. So I have to create a whole nother thing, but that's fine. So I record everything with my phone, and then I put it in the TikTok, goes to Instagram, and then I make something similar that goes on the Facebook. But you can make money on your reels on Facebook. Now I have made like 12 cents this month. I'm telling you, and I don't think you get paid out.
That's money right there.
Yeah, I don't think you get paid out until you make 100, and then at the $100 mark. So I won't hit that anytime soon. But in general, creating content and bookmarking it so that you have it so that you can put it out. You have either putting quality content out, less often. Right now, I'm just putting shit out because that's what. Look, I don't care if I make money. That's the whole thing. I don't give a shit. This podcast, Alex and I would do this podcast if we had one listener. We would still do it because of the people we get to meet. But we also know that there's an opportunity. If we continue to grow, there's an opportunity to make and by some money. There's opportunity for us to get better microphones. There's opportunity to get better cameras. Like there's stuff to make the podcast better for the people who have invested time to listen to goddamn 2+ hours of bullshit.
Total bullshit.
Yeah, total bullshit. But if they're going to listen,
high quality bullshit.
Yeah. No,
high quality total bullshit.
Semi-professional amateur shit.
That's right. Well, it ain't even that. We're like below semi-pro.
Well, until recently, I really had no desire to do the monetization thing. But then I thought, if I could take it a little more serious and edge that way, maybe I could subsidize at some point, or even hoping that I could do this full time.
Well, but just think about it. This is the way I think about it. If we start making $100 a month, if I start making $100 a month on social media bullshit, and I enjoy doing it, and I'm making content that I enjoy, that's $100 that I wouldn't be making any other. Who cares how much it is? Now, if you want to make a living on this, that's a whole different mindset. But for me, if I make any amount of money that I can put into my bank account from fishing content, from doing stupid shit around the house, from whatever it is, from smoking meats, why wouldn't I do it? It's $100. The end of the year, that's $1,200. $1,200, that's like a day and a half at Carowinds. Or that's me buying my wife a gift. Like it's a side gig. And
that's
you're going to do this shit anyway, and you can make a little bit of money. Why not make it? Why not monetize it?
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Not everybody wants to be a professional YouTuber. But if you can make a couple $100 a month, bro, that shit adds up. $2,000 at the end of the year, man, you can do some fun shit with $2,000 fucking dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, look, we have been 2 hours and 24 minutes. We have great retention rate, and usually it's because of the dumb shit we say mixed in with fishing content where they might learn something. Well, these motherfuckers that are still listening right now ain't learned a fucking thing about fishing this whole podcast. So they're just here for the entertainment.
Well, we're teaching them how to market sex toys in a different way with the tumblers.
Yeah.
It's a marketing class at this point.
Well, your wife is going to lead us on that journey.
Well, I'm on my phone now, or I'd just call her and put her on speakerphone.
Hey, what is your wife's tiki-tac? Where is she most active on?
Probably TikTok.
What's her tic-tac?
I don't know.
We'll get that.
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's like T-Hug or something like that. I don't even remember what her actual handle is.
Oh, hold on. Your wife's TikTok account is T-Hug, aka Thug.
Our last name is Hug, Hugg. And when she used to work in one of her professional careers, her email was T-Hug at whatever company she worked for. And every time she got an email, the first line was, "I love your email." Because it was Thug at like whatever the rehab or whatever place was she was working for. So, there it is. We've been calling her Thug since we've gotten married. So
look, Thug Tumblers.
Thug Tumblers.
All right,
get her on it.
Well, we are gonna get to the actual part of Bass and Brews, and unless I deleted. Nope, I didn't delete them. All right. This is the only scripted part of this shitty podcast right here, Dustin. We're gonna roll with it. Hambone, if you want to throw some questions in, or if you remember a question that you would like to ask Dustin, just raise your hand and interrupt me.
Okay.
Feel free to ask. And if you want to create your own questions, your guest co-host, this is your show. You can do that too. But we're going to start the Q&A side of this podcast. And the first question, we've kind of already covered this. All right, here's the deal. Dustin, I'll ask you a question. Hambone ask you a question. There's no thinking or this or that. You got to answer the question. All right.
I do great at true or false.
All right. Well, great. This is true false. Just it's not all true false. Crocs or flops?
Flops. I'd rather be barefooted than either one of them, though.
Well, yeah. Hey, I go barefoot so much. Sometimes I get my truck and I drive to the gas station, or I drive to the brewery, or I go somewhere and I get out of my truck. I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't got no shoes on. None. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I still go in there with no shoes on. You know how many times people have said anything to me? Zero.
I didn't wear anything other than boots until I got married. So I didn't even own a pair of tennis shoes until I got married.
Look, I go barefoot so much, my corns are 1.5 inches thick.
You got the juice.
Bo, I just got it. Oh my God! How do we make a TikTok? Look, it's not a Bass and Brews if I don't show my feet. How do we make a TikTok with my corns to the
God.
cone? It's cone. Oh my God! We got to do that. Somebody, all right, if you were still listening and you can help, and Hambone, you can do this. We need to make it's cone. We need to make a TikTok of my feet, my foot corns, to the It's Cone song. We got to do that.
The little boy saying, once I realized it was real.
I can tell you all about it. All right.
Most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Pineapple on pizza.
Hell no. I'll go to my grave on that one.
But are you fighting anybody if they order pineapple on pizza?
No, do you? I don't care what you ordered, but don't put it on my shit.
If you show up at somebody's house and they got pineapple on pizza, you just said you'd eat the hell out of pizza. Would you still eat it if it was free?
I'd pick the pineapple off. Pineapple on pizza is some communist shit.
I would eat the hell out of it because I'm
not a huge pineapple person, though. I can take or leave even fresh pineapple, though. That's kind of me.
Look, if I show up somewhere and there's pineapple on pizza, I'm giving my wife the whole fucking pizza. You know what I mean? Y'all
Yeah,
know what I mean?
my wife loves ham and pineapple pizza.
But no, do you know what I mean about pineapple and wives?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get the. But you got to turn it upside down. Yeah.
What? No, you can turn that shit upside down too. But just in general, pineapple on pizza, wives.
Yeah.
And BJ's. And
Yeah, I got the pineapple.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, if we show up somewhere and they got pineapple and pizza, I'm like, this is my wife's extra large. Here, honey, eat all this.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
eat all of it.
Yeah, ain't shit gonna happen. So it
Put
don't
it
matter.
on a tumbler. I'm gonna make you a pineapple tumbler when I start.
Oh, a pineapple infused tumbler. So every time she drinks out of it,
there you go.
She's drinking pineapple.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to take all these ideas tonight. They're going to write them down. They're going to be billionaires, and we're going to be on this podcast a year from now making negative $20.
It's the same people that's going to report us too and take our ideas and then report us for our actions.
Look, bitch, can't nobody report nothing on this podcast. We are upfront about the degenerativeness of what we are. All right, spend more on a rod or a reel.
Do what?
Spend this bitch is country. He still can't understand me. You gonna spend more on a rod or a reel?
Oh, rod for sure. I can take one of my $400 FXs and put a Zebco on it and be okay.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So Alex is a real guy, and I just did a podcast a couple weeks ago with Armando from Bass Kayak and Beers, and I had to take the real side because of Alex. But yeah, I think there are times where if you get specific, there are times where one's better than the other.
I'm starting to get on the Shimano bandwagon, so I'm spending a little bit more. But I used an Abu Garcia Black Max for my spinnerbaits for the longest time.
Yeah.
And anybody know that's a damn $30 hunk of shit, but it worked.
No, that bitch is $59 now, buddy.
No.
Yeah, but I mean you can take, but like you said, you can take a Zebco and put it on the right rod, and you can still skip that shit, skip a jig, unless you're me. You can still skip a jig and with the right rod. But if you don't have the right rod, you can't feel anything.
I would still be using that Black Max if I hadn't done a pay it forward thing when I got a new one. I gave it to somebody that didn't have one. I'd still have it.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you can't skip a jig with a Zebco, you might as well fucking give up fishing because that bitch don't backlash. That's
a. You just gave me an idea for a video. We're gonna skip Zebcos.
I like it. I tried. I skipped a sassy stick with a kitty rod that basically has a Zebco on it.
For show. That's like the bass fishing equivalent of money shot is skipping a kitty rod with a Senko.
Look, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not a good caster. I can't skip worth a fuck.
But you don't ever have to skip out or anything anyway, because you don't have any docks.
Yeah, so when we get the docks, you talk about people banging against shit and throwing shit against pontoons and docks. That's me. I'm not a good caster. I'm a bomber. I like to fish where I just fucking throw that shit up. When I fish a drop shot, I'm throwing that bitch as far as that little damn spinning reel will take it, and I'm doing it. Now, if I can drop on them, yes, but I'm not a good caster at all. I would never claim to be. I'm a bomb caster. That's what I like to do. I like to throw that bitch that's what I like to do.
Skipping a bait caster, I'm okay at. But if I use one of my spinning reels to skip a duck, I'll hit the tonsils on that bitch.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's easy. You ain't fucking that bitch up. All right, in a 3-hour session, you want to catch 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder?
1 7.
My man. Yep. I want to catch a big one.
I mean, I think even in a tournament, 7-pounder, you're catching a check for big fish. So, and I've got a stack of little fish trophies, so I might as well try for a big fish.
This son of a bitch. Let me tell you a quick story about the Sharon Harris.
I know where it's going.
Okay, time out. Background on the story that's coming up. Queen City has a little
small fish pot.
Yes.
Small fish pot. So they not only have the big fish, and then you get the winter, they have a small fish pot. So this is funny because if you're catching smallies, you're like, let me dial down to this 64-ounce jig and try to catch.
You not. That small fish pot will pay for your fishing trip.
Oh,
the year before last,
200, 300 bucks.
The year before last, when I actually did well and I won the fish off to get in the TOC, I made almost over $1,000, and most of it was on small fish pots.
That's fucking phenomenal.
So
more people should implement that. All right, Hambone, tell us about this guy.
This fucking guy. So we're on Sharon Harris, and you're thinking Sharon Harris is just giants. You're catching big fish all day long. Well, I think I fished the first day. I think my fish was like maybe 6.5 inches or like 6 1/4. But to get that 6 1/4, I took the fish and I put it diagonal.
This story caused a fucking rule change.
I took the fish. I put the nose of the fish in the bottom corner of the board, and then I started pinching the tail, but I was pinching the tail basically at the fish's asshole, and just moving is making the fish as short as I possibly could.
And there was nothing against that in the
rules.
There was
no rules. So I'm literally, this fish looks, it is like almost bent in half because I'm trying to get it to make as short as possible. And I think I had like short fish going into the second day. And then this son of a bitch comes in, and what did you catch the small fish on? Like you were just
it was the Ned Dizzy on a really small jig head. Like I think I kept the Ned Dizzy in half.
Hold on. I did. Guys, this is small bass. This isn't brim. This isn't a perch or any bullshit. Like this is small bass.
Yeah. Like I think it was like 6 1/4 inches is what I had. And going into the first, after the first day. And then you caught that little one on the second day, right? Or did you catch it on the first day?
Right when it started piss pouring rain too.
Yeah.
We were in a damn hurricane on the second day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and so I'm going to the weigh, and I'm like, oh, there's no way he caught a fish smaller than that. There's no fucking way. And then Vinny calls his day for small bass. I'm like, motherfucker.
I was like a 1/4 inch smaller than him.
Yeah,
like I didn't know that he had bent his fish up.
Oh, dude.
And I did the same fucking thing. And we had no clue till the weigh-in, and we talked about, and we walked in, and Vinny said at the same time, he said, "You motherfuckers just caused the rule change." Like Vinny got us at the same time, walked into the banquet room. I was like, "We don't."
So good.
But the funny thing is, that same bait, I caught my biggest fish of the tournament and the smallest on the exact same bait. I caught like a 19.5 in the grass across the cove from where I was fishing the day before. And it was the exact same Ned Dizzy setup I was using.
Well, there ain't no grass at Sharon Harris anymore, so y'all can fucking forget this shit. Hey, what would a Queen City tournament be without gale force hurricane winds?
I would wonder who didn't sacrifice the goat that year. Because it's either blistered titty cold or hurricane or like the second day on Sharon Harris, if you were 20 feet from the bank, you couldn't see the bank.
Yeah.
That's how hard it was raining that second day.
And look, Sharon Harris, if you get north or south winds on Sharon Harris, it's the fucking Bering Sea. That was the first time I'd ever been to Sharon Harris too, was that 2-day tournament. Yeah, it's a small lake. And so so east and west winds, you can get on one side or the other of the lake and in some of the small creeks and get away from it. But if that shit's north and south, you better have your crab boots on because you getting fucked up. But that was probably my 4th small fish award for that year alone. Yeah. So, I mean, those little bastards pay for my fishing trips, so I'll take them. And I make TOC, so fuck it. But I mean, that's you make $1,000 in a kayak fishing trail off a small fish. That's fucking. I mean, dude, that's $1,000.
The craziest one was on Santee Cooper, the land of dinosaurs. I caught a damn 6-inch on Santee Cooper, and that fucking plaque is hanging on my wall in my office. Proud as freaking punch, man.
That's funny as hell. That is all. I didn't know we had the small fish champ.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Small fish champ. 100%.
I mean,
listen, I take a trout setup with an inline Mep spinner in me.
yes.
If I see fry schooling, I'm throwing it out on to see if I can get them to run it out of the bush.
So we've had Jordan Marshall, who is the AOI champ of all. He's won AOIs every fucking where he's been, and now we've got Dustin, Hand Job Adventures, who is the small fish champ.
Playing with those small ones.
All right, wacky rig or Texas rig?
Back in the day, probably Texas, but the more I use the wacky, I've started liking it a lot more.
The sassy? Are you throwing the sassy?
Absolutely. If I'm going to throw a Senko style bait, I'm just going to use the sassy stick.
Y'all gonna make me buy some of these fucking sassy sticks.
The only one that I use other than that one is this black and blue swirl yum that I use for night fishing.
Oh, so I'm a Yum Dinger fan. I love the Yum Dinger. They're tough. They hold on. You know, that's typically what I fish because I'm a cheap motherfucker. So
my fishing career hasn't advanced because I'm so stubborn on what I use.
Mine has advanced this year because I finally opened my eyes. I mean, you know, you got to open your eyes and start using some different shit. All right, slow jams or hype music
for the tournaments.
Bitch, it don't fucking matter. Anytime, slow jams or hype music.
Yeah, I'm gonna go slow jams. I like to get drunk and listen to some Boys to Men.
My man, getting drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning, waiting on lunch. Listen to Boys to Men.
If I'm at the boat ramp though, it's probably like some old school gangster rap or something. I got a pretty wide variety of music I listen to.
Nice, I love it. Do you listen to music on the water?
Well, during a tournament, not usually, but like the Queen City Emerald event, it's a fun charity event. Yeah, I'll blast a couple things.
Bitch, I ain't listening to no music on the water, and don't come talk to me when we're fishing a tournament. Like, say hi, and unless you're telling me to come over here and help you, keep people from coming on your spot so I can catch the 16 inches while you catch the 18 inches, don't talk. Look, in general, I'm not fun to fish with. People want to fish with me people want to fish with me all the time, and I straight up tell them I'm not fun to fish with. I'm self-deprecating. I holler and scream at myself. I cuss a lot. I pedal miles and miles. I'm not fun to fish with.
I get inside my own head so bad on tournament day that I don't even remember to drink water half the time, more or less play music. Like I can get to the boat ramp and I'll get out of the kayak and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about the dive dehydration. My legs cramp up.
Yeah. So I do the same thing. I don't eat when I'm on the water. I take a Slim Jim. I never eat it. But one thing I did start doing because of the summers down here are so shitty, I take an electrolyte pack. Mm-hmm. And when I start getting a headache, I pour that shit in a water bottle. I down it. And that I usually carry, I got a bunch of them in my little cooler. But damn, at the end of the day, I down another one because I don't drink enough water. I don't eat. You know, I'm the
same. I'm the same way. Every now and then, I'll remember to eat a pack of crackers or a Slim Jim. But I've always got a Gatorade now that I just keep with me and drink it.
All right, Alex Rudd, is he overrated or underrated?
I don't know enough about him to voice an opinion.
That's no. You have to answer the fucking question.
Okay. I'm gonna say underrated. He's the man, I guess.
This is what the fuck is it with you guys? Both of you, actually, the most flattered I have ever been in my entire life as a podcaster for the last year and I don't know, a few months was when Hambone goes, I didn't know who Alex Rudd until I listened to y'all's podcast.
That's hand on the Bible.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you,
I'll be honest with you, I still ain't looked him up. I mean, when he subscribes to Hands On YouTube, I'll holler at you, boy, and watch him.
Well, hey, be easy now because when Tori at some point he subscribed or mentioned or he knew who she was because we talked about on the podcast that they were on. But y'all, you're the second people that says I didn't know who Alex Rudd was until the podcast. And when Alex was on our podcast, we're like, this is great. He's going to be doing so much shit for us. But here we are, two people sitting in front of me right now virtually say I didn't know who the fuck he was. Hey, Alex Rudd, I know you don't listen to this podcast. He don't listen to podcasts, well, fishing podcasts. But I have two people that know you because of us.
I will say this, and I'll be 100% honest. I thought Alex from Swamp Rat was Alex Rudd for the longest time. Until he started saying Alex Rudd, I was like, why is this motherfucker talking in the third person on this show for?
Look, first of all, Alex Swamp Rat, Alex Bass and Brews Alex will get on some Alex Rudd dick in a heartbeat and love it. But no. Alex Swamp Rat Fishing Alex is like, Alex Rudd is like 6 swamp rats, and he has a beard. How you could not know the difference between Munchkin Alex and Alex Rudd?
So does Alex Rudd have a podcast?
Yes, he does. It's a fucking really good podcast.
On the way home tomorrow, I'll look him up and give it a listen.
Look it up.
I'm going to send him a message like, I'm only here because of Bass and Brews. You need to go give them boys a pat on the back.
Oh, no, man. Alex has been on the podcast a couple times. He's actually had Alex on. They had both of us on, and both of them were shit shows, and I'm pretty sure they were the worst episodes he's ever had. But he does have a podcast that's really good. His fame came from YouTubing. Like, that's what he's done. And I think Monster Bass is the other thing, but
well, if I hadn't hand-grenaded this episode, the next time I come on, you could have had him on.
Look, his podcast is really fun. It has a lot of stuff going on. Listen to it. I love his podcast. I listen to it. It is really good. It's kind of all over the place, but he's in the industry, so he'll have some stupid ass motherfuckers on like me and Swamp Rat, but then he has industry people on too. And you get a lot of insight into that industry side of it. I mean, he's well connected in that. So he does have a good podcast.
He smells
this
like
is great.
Max scent.
Yes, Max sent my pants.
Yeah, he will Max scent you to death.
So this is
Next
wonderful.
question.
So I'm going to say you said Alex Rudd is overrated.
I said he's underrated.
No.
Okay.
Same thing I told Hambone. Hambone said, I guess he's overrated. I was like, no, bitch is underrated. I mean,
That's underrated. I didn't know he was.
I'm dyslexic. I'm colorblind. I fucked that up. Anyway, all right. Have you ever eaten beaver?
Eating what?
Beaver.
Beaver? Yeah.
Where'd you have it?
In our high school, we used to have a thing called a wild game supper. I went to a place called North Buncombe, and one year we had elk, pronghorn, deer. Some dude brought like a damn swordfish in there that he had caught. I mean, our FFA class had a wild game management thing, and we would do a wild game supper every year, and we had everything from the squirrel gravy to quail and pheasant. So I've tried. If it's a legal animal to hunt or kill, I've probably tried it.
Well, I mean, even though it ain't legal, it's still delicious. Like, I would eat horse meat. If somebody fed me dog or cat, I would eat that shit.
It depends on how tough times get. I don't care if it's got a face or not. If it can go in the frying pan.
Hey, look, you throw it on a smoker and you pull it, you don't know what you eating. It's delicious.
Where I come from up in the mountains, we used to have this thing called a squirrel wobble, and that was damn near a roadkill buffet these people bring in.
Did y'all cook squirrel perlo?
I don't think so. We had squirrel and brown gravy, and then we had some kind of dish with raccoon that was.
I'll tell you what,
questionable best on that one.
Look, coon and possum You got to hash them out, man. You got to grind them up, hash them, pour it on rice. It's delicious. If you just try to eat that shit straight, it's like eating olive oil.
Oh no, you got to church that shit up.
Oh yeah,
quite a bit.
Hey, that's how it is. Do you eat largemouth bass?
I have, but I don't generally eat fish in general unless I'm saltwater. I'm not opposed to it. I don't. My uncle used to make bass nuggets that were spectacular.
See, all right. I think I don't know what podcast I said. Look, Hambone's like, can they hurry the fuck up? I am tired. I'm ready to go to bed.
Hambone needs to ask some questions before my battery runs down.
Listen, this is the Bass and Brews.
But you're the guest co-host. This is your podcast, Hambone. I told you can make up any shit you wanted to ask. You don't have anything you want to ask?
Well, I mean, you gave me 35 minutes heads up.
Look,
I had a whole day heads up. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah, see, there you go.
No, well, he did, but he didn't answer me back until like 1 o'clock. So, I mean.
Daddy was busy today, boy.
Look, we usually record this motherfucker on Tuesday nights. And here we are on Thursday night. This bitch hits the airwaves in 6 hours. Less than 6 hours. 5 hours and whatever, 16 minutes minus.
There's going to be a lot of pregnant women if they watch this.
Ain't going to be in this house. I guarantee you that.
Not this house either.
No, sounds like Dustin's making babies tonight. All right. Dustin, this makes or breaks careers. This is the question where people can fuck it up or they can be legends. I'll throw it to Hambone to ask this question because I know he knows it.
So, you're out on the water and everybody loves to eat a sandwich while you're out on the water.
Sandwich.
Sandwich. Yeah, that's what I said. When you are out on the water or any other time, what are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
Top 3?
Top 3.
Bacon, bacon, and bacon.
Okay. So bacon, we still need 2 more.
Okay, I'm going to go brisket.
And
probably Nashville hot chicken.
Okay, nice.
Shit, I can't argue with any of that.
No.
I'd eat all of it.
I'd live and die from bacon.
I think there was one person before me that said bacon, and I was like, I threw my hands up in the air. I was like, finally, somebody said bacon. Like,
now, my favorite thing in the whole world is steak, but I ain't putting it on a sandwich.
Like turkey and all this other bullshit, these sandwich meats, because they're like, well, it's got to be a sandwich meat. It's got to be something I get from the deli. I'm like, dude, no, bacon.
If you're fucking poor in kindergarten.
Hell yeah. No, I'm exactly. My 3 answers were bacon, pulled pork, and fried chicken. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that.
The only other one I would swap out is steak, and I don't want steak on a sandwich. I just want steak on a plate.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I wouldn't. There's no way I could really do steak. Though I've had some good steak sandwiches, but like, I would rather have it cutting it and medium rare.
I'm of the Anthony Bourdain class where when it comes to a sandwich, I want meat and cheese. I don't need nothing else.
Yeah.
If the meat's good, you don't need a bunch of other bullshit on it.
Well, there was the most famous answer, as I'm sure the Jabber Hammer is about to tell you about, is spinach.
No, the fuck it's not. That bitch is not protein.
It's iron.
All right. My
At least someone didn't say something else.
Like beaver. My 8-year-old son, we tell him, so long story, he's short, he's small in stature and needs to eat better. And so we say, when he wants a snack, you got to get something healthy and it's got to have protein in it. So this little son bitch goes in there and is looking at the labels. Oh, this has got protein in it. It's got like the -1 protein. So spinach has protein in it. It ain't a fucking protein. Do you listen to Serious Angler, Dustin?
Serious Angler?
Mm-hmm. All right. put their shit in your queue for your podcast. Serious Angler. Yeah, they great podcast. Bailey, Catman Drew, they both been on. Deacon, we're working on getting him on. They're a fishing podcast, big in the industry. They got some really good shit out there too. But Bailey told us spinach. Before that, and before I was the co-host, we had a Hookset Hoodlum. Delirious Angler said cheese.
So, I mean, I want cheese on a sandwich, but I mean, it ain't my protein. So
you ain't eating a cheese sandwich.
I mean, I ain't saying I wouldn't, but
I would too. I'd eat the fuck out of it. But
cheese,
it ain't a
cheese is like one of the top rungs on my food ladder. So
hey, I make so I cook a lot of barbecue, pulled pork, and in the morning times, a lot of times I'll like make a pulled pork wrap. And I will take the pulled pork, and I'll put it on the wrap, and I'll take cheese, and I'll put it on there, and I'll heat it up. And then I take a hot scrambled egg or egg over easy, and I put it on there, and I put the sauce on there. And people are like, ooh, cheese on pulled pork. I'm like, bitch, if you eating this shit before 9 o'clock in the morning, you can put cheese on pulled pork.
You put cheese on anything. I eat so much cheese, I paid Wisconsin's light bill. So,
so you need to watch more Tic Tac cooking videos because these. All right, I'm about to be improper. The white women on TikTok that do cooking videos use more fucking cheese. That I mean, I don't understand how their husbands don't. I mean, I understand why their husbands have fart videos on TikTok.
Have you seen the wives made the nachos on the countertop with all the cheese and meat and stuff? Just poured it out on the damn countertop.
You're asking for fucking diarrhea butt at the end of that because people don't wash their fucking hands after they go to the bathroom. That's why potlucks, I ain't into potlucks, man, because motherfuckers be cooking food, going to the bathroom, wiping their ass, and not washing their hands. Anyway, we can't get off on that tangent. We 3 hours in, motherfucker. All right. You have answered all the questions, some improperly, but you answered them all. Tell us, shout out any sponsors you have, and tell us all of your social medias, where we can find you, the real ones, not the hand job ones, even though I think that would be the best. But tell us where we can find you. Tell us about your sponsors and anything that you got coming up that people need to, that are still listening fucking 3 hours in, they might want to find.
Main shout out is my wife. She's my main sponsor. Lets me do this. Doesn't bitch
What's
at me
her name?
about it.
You've wrestled her
Trina.
80 times. Trina.
Her name's Trina.
Trina the Thug.
Thug. She's number one on the list. I don't do pro staff or any of that anymore. I don't like being a part of that because I'm not trying to push it on anybody. And as much as I like my fishing poles I use, I've kind of got a bad taste in my mouth from an experience with it. So if someone wants to put my name on a check and make me an actual sponsor, we'll do that. But I don't do pro staffer, and I don't have my main sponsor is Hands On Installation, which is my business, and that's what pays for the road trips and the kayak tournaments. So yeah,
good deal.
Right.
Hambone, what you got coming up? Holler at any of your people or anything like that?
I've got, well, I'm going to miss, unfortunately. I'm going to be rolling out to Wilmington, so I won't be on the Lake Murray event, but I am going to be heading down to Charleston to do a little bit of saltwater fishing here with Chris Tweedy with Topwater Kayak Adventures and chasing after some redfish, whatever the hell bites. And then, then we got a Queen City event on the Carolina Clash. So it'll be Angler's Choice with Lake Norman, Mountain Island Lake, and Lake Wiley. So some good bass fishing, hopefully some good saltwater fishing coming up, and we'll get some videos out and have a good time.
Have either of you qualified for the North Carolina Bass Tournament?
Nope. My year kind of got hand grenaded kind of early, so I've been focusing on other video content.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to make this Murray event, and that's event number 7. So I'm probably going to have to rely on roll downs, based on points. But right now, I think before any drops with the Queen City group, I think I was sitting somewhere around 10th place. So there's a
You
shot
can
that
make
I
it.
can still
Yeah.
qualify. So we'll see.
Are y'all coming to the Jordan Falls event for Queen City here in October?
If I have a trip coming up in October to Florida for one of my customers that is going to be a potential sponsor for next year, and he's got a brand new 32-foot Carolina skiff bay boat, and he wants
Sounds
me
like
to
a
take
fun
him
idea.
fishing in Punta Gorda. So I will be probably down in Florida during that one.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I am going to be, that's actually the weekend I'm going to be in Wilmington for that rally event. Looking forward to it because I could go stay at my parents' place. They live out that way, but I will be in Wilmington,
You
unfortunately.
can look for Florida videos next weekend because I'm going to be in Orlando doing theme park stuff.
Nice. Well, thank y'all for everybody who has continued to listen this long. And believe it or not, we do have a lot of people that listen to the podcast this long. Thank you. We appreciate it. Check out Hookset Hoodlums, great apparel. They got some fall stuff coming out. Check out their social media because they had the Hookset Hoodlum fest that they did. I wasn't able to go because they're in the Northeast or New England, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They're up there. They're up yonder some ways. But check them out. Great shit going on there. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you to Hambone and for Hands On Adventures for coming on. Kind of short notice for both of them. Really appreciate it. Y'all, this is Bass and Brews, your weekly distraction from quality podcast content. Everybody, how do we go out of this? Hey-o!
Hey-o!
Oh, shit, I missed the button. Motherfucker.